It is 6 o'clock. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The Titans were back on the practice field yesterday as they prepare for Sunday's game against the Indianapolis Colts. The first injury report of the week came out. 4 players did not practice in J.C. Latham with a hip, Bryce Oliver with a knee, L'Jarius Sneed with a back injury, and Kevin Zeitler with a bicep. 3 players were limited, in Kalel Mullings with an ankle, Tavondre Sweat with an ankle, and Kevin Winston Jr. with a hamstring injury. In other NFL news, 2 more injuries as a result from Week 2. Tampa Bay Buccaneers guard Cody Mauch, despite finishing Monday night's game against the Texans, will miss the remainder of the 2025 season with a significant knee injury. Also, Los Angeles Chargers have placed edge rusher Khalil Mack on injured reserve after suffering an elbow dislocation in their Monday night win over the Raiders. Mack avoids a season-ending injury and is expected to be back in a few weeks. In college football news yesterday, the NCAA is eliminating the spring transfer portal window and moving to a one-time-only college football transfer window. This transfer window would be open for a 10-day period, but the dates of when the window would be have yet to be determined. One rule would stand, though. If a head coach is fired, then a 30-day window would still be in effect. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you've got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
A very good Thursday morning to you, beautiful Music City. This is Ramona Will, and we're fueled by Scooter's Coffee. We're in studio this morning, which means we're streaming live for you. Our beautiful faces for radio on 104.5 The Zone TV here between our walls at downtown Cumulus, Nashville. Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. F&M Bank Chat open. And Thursdays on Ramona Will are essentially the unofficial start of the weekend. Friday Jr. here on the program, and the crew's all here to break it down for you. Ramon Foster, Justin Hawkins, Will Bowling, 615-737-1045. A loaded Thursday with Coach Mack at Titans Radio at 720. Voice of the Vols, Mike Keith, soon to be Titans Ring of Honor honoree, Mike Keith, at 820. Voice of the Titans, Taylor Zarzer, at 920, who's also on the call for Tennessee and UAB this weekend. Ramon, we have 4 play-by-play / color analysts for Tennessee and Titans games this weekend. What else could you want? Good
Man, this is somewhat like the ultimate team at this point, Will.
That's exactly right.
Blending of eras. Absolutely like that, man. I don't know if I've ever seen a unique situation like this, but Taylor does a lot, Mike does a lot, Coach Mack does a lot, and I guess I'm in the lot with them at this point, man. Should be a good time. I'm looking forward to seeing Taylor up in Knoxville, too, man. I hadn't seen him in person, I think, since came into the studio last, at practice, yes.
Training camp.
Last time I saw him, training camp.
Very nice.
Sure did.
Love it. How's your Wednesday?
Wednesday was good, man. Had to, the oldest forgot something at home, and I had to ship it out. Now I'm looking forward to tracking. I got to figure out if I can track something through my phone number. Either way, Wednesday was good. Had Serve Pro come by yesterday. I got something got to be taken care of in the house. Multitude of things yesterday, like small fires I had to do yesterday. So, nothing crazy though, man, but all in all, solid. Wednesdays also, we got to get to the latter part of the season so we can start getting some action on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Yeah, it's the withdrawal of the 48 hours with no football.
Listen, the first 2 weeks we've had, 5 straight games in a row.
That's right.
4 days of games in a row, too.
Tuesday and Wednesday is the downtime.
Tuesday, yeah, and it was a little weird because I feel like we've been overloaded with football so much that I'm looking around for it and I couldn't find it yesterday. By the way, either I saw something, you go get my eyes checked, but I set glue traps all around my back porch. I'm talking about every corner.
Glue traps?
Yes. You remember I told you I had the little pest on the back?
Oh, that's right.
I thought. Every corner of the doggone back porch. And I got some jumbo, literal 18-inch glue traps also. One of them's got peanut butter on it. Nothing.
Really?
Not a single.
You scared it away?
Not a single showing, Will, at all. Maybe I was tripping, okay? That's all I'm telling you.
You think you imagined a mouse?
I don't know what I saw
Okay.
at this point because I've never not seen the glue trap do its job, especially with peanut butter on it. It's weird.
Is it one of those where you can like see the mouse? Like it's like a open, because I know there are some where like there's like a tunnel. A tunnel's probably not the right word to describe it. There's like a thing where like you know that there is something in there, but you can't see it unless you like open up the contraption.
No, this is open. Like this is if you step on it, like the bottom of your shoe is gonna get stuck to it.
See, I would specifically not get that kind because I don't want to see it when I catch it. I just want to know that a door has closed and it's in there and I can throw it away or I can let it out in the wild or something. I don't know.
I want to see it. I want to see it.
Why do we not like mice? What's the like? Because I don't like. I'm not saying that I have a hot take to say like they're not that bad. Like they're disgusting, but like why are they disgusting?
Because they invade your house. And they will actually eat off of your stuff sneakily. I think it's it's the mental part of seeing something like crazy funny story. Not even funny, really. In college, I stayed at Woodgate. It's in Knoxville, apartment complex in Knoxville. Well, there's regular residents there, too. Like, it's not a college place.
Okay.
And the lady next door to us had a snake. She used to feed it mice, okay? She was some Romanian lady. It was weird, okay? And she used to feed it mice.
I hate snakes so much.
And I think 1 or 2 or 3 of them got out. So, I've never had an issue like this in college, okay? But living in a regular apartment complex, I did. And at the time, Keisha just had RJ. We had, like, fruit in the house, like fresh fruit, Dad. We like fresh fruit in the house, okay? That's where it was.
Okay, stepbrothers.
I know. So we came downstairs one day, and we had a cantaloupe, a ball cantaloupe, and there were little teeth marks in it.
Oh, no.
And
no.
No, like, we had a problem. So that's why I dislike them, because they can just nibble on you, man. They're rodents, essentially what they are.
No, they are. They're disgusting. I've never understood why they're disgusting.
Yeah, man. It's that's what got it for me. It's just like you'll see them bite on stuff, and it freaks me the heck out. Plus, they're small and quick. You can't track them.
Right.
You can't track. I don't even like gerbils, pet gerbils, or hamsters.
They're just a creepy crawly. Like when they come over your foot, that's when it. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So when I was an athletic trainer in Clarksville, I worked at kind of like in the dungeon is where my athletic training room was. I had mice in the training. I had to have
plural.
Yes.
Oh,
not
nice.
Good.
Yes.
Not good.
And what drew the line for me, and I had to call somebody and was like, you have to fix this now. I'm sitting at my desk doing some notes, and I feel something on my foot. Yeah. Nope, I'm done.
We're close to Halloween. See, that's why I'm with Jayhawk on this one. Like, if I do find this one, I'm resting this one. Okay, this one's going to jail. This one's going to rat jail is what I'm telling you.
Well, you know, the other disgusting creature that's always around us too much in the South?
Who?
Colts fans. Yesterday, the Titans and Colts initial injury report came out, and the right side of the offensive line for the Tennessee Titans was not on the field. J.C. Latham, hip, did not practice. Kevin Zeitler, bicep, did not practice. We'll see on Thursday and Friday what Zeitler looks like. As long as he goes Friday, you'd imagine he's probably back in there, but we'll see. Looked fine yesterday in the locker room. No major things that I noticed. Just seeing him. Also, non-participants, Bryce Oliver with a knee. L'Jarius Sneed with a back. I don't think that's a major concern on Sneed. From what he was saying in the locker room yesterday, just talking to media members, I do not anticipate that being a major issue. Now, that could progress, and maybe it's something that starts, that gets worse. I'm not going to make any guarantees, but to me, that was just the reason why he got a rest day without them saying rest, just to say, hey, maybe there's something that's nagging a little bit, but no major concern there for Sneed. So I know fans get a little like, oh, here we go again. When they see Sneed pop up on the injury report, I do not think this is a big problem.
And I just want to educate people real quick, too, on the injury report also. The training room inside NFL rooms are training facilities. Like, they are medical facilities, too. You're supposed to treat them as such. That's what our trainers used to tell us. And act as such in them also. Everything that you do is reported. And it's also for players in their post-retirement, too. It's for the documentation of workers' comp. They get line of duty also, and you can just track and see what your medical outline is throughout the duration of your career. There's a lot of post-career benefits that are available for guys also. And I'm telling you, if you go in for a bag of ice for your right knee, that can also be something that is put on the injury report. Also, if you go in for treatment, ultrasound on your or stem and ice on your lower back, everything goes on there. If you go in for ice on your elbow, that goes in. Like everything that you have going on goes into your medical profile. So during the season, they can't lie about these things. They got to say exactly what they are. So he may have just gone in for a back massage or back treatment, and they got to put that down as a reason.
Yeah, I don't anticipate it being a major issue for L'Jarius Sneed. Limited participants yesterday. Khalil Mullings was back in a limited context. Tavondre Sweat worked on a side field. Ankle injury for him, limited. Again, I did not notice any big issues with him. He told me that he was good to go. Sometimes it takes a couple questions on Sweat. Like originally he'd be like, oh man, I don't know. Like you'll just have to find out. And then he'll answer another question, be like, I'll be out there. I'll be good. It's like, oh there you go. There's your answer. Just keep asking questions. And then Kevin Winston Jr., hamstring, also limited. Would be great to get him back against his former Penn State teammate, Tyler Warren, this weekend.
That will be good.
Tyler Warren, who was a non-participant for the Colts yesterday with a toe injury. Josh Downs with an ankle injury, also a non-participant. Leatu Latu and Bernard Ryman were limited. Ryman with illness, so no big issues there. And then full participants, Tyler Goodson, Travarius Ward, and Austin Ajiake. I don't know how to say his name. I'll look it up. 615-737-1045 is our number. We stream the show live on Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. Live from the 1045 The Zone Circa Sports Studio. Kentucky's largest sports book can now be found at Circa Sports at Kentucky Downs. I've got good news for the people.
Tell us.
We are making you money. I have bad news for you. Not all of you have been taking advantage of this. The Thursday 3 picks are going very well for all three of us. So if you like U.S. currency, the Thursday 3 is next.
Did you know that up to 50% of the air you breathe in your home comes from your crawl space? Have you ever looked in your crawl space? I get it. Most of us don't even want to know what's in there, but moisture in your crawl space can create unhealthy issues that can make their way into your home, into the air you breathe every single day, all right? It's Ramon Foster, and this is where United Structural Systems can help you. USS has been keeping homes dry and stable in Middle Tennessee since 1994, so you know they aren't going anywhere. Help control moisture and musty smells with mold treatment and crawl space encapsulation that comes with the USS guarantee. Encapsulation helps reduce high humidity in your crawl space. It also helps deter mold and mildew and protects your crawl space from pests and wood rot. So turn your crawl space into a healthy space, man. Reach out to the company I trust for all foundation repair and all my waterproofing needs, man. You can go to USSTN.com. That's USSTN.com or call them 615-488-7855. United Structural System.
Ramona Willow, 104.5 The Zone is fueled by Scooters Coffee. Locally owned near you in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Fran A. Jr. on Ramona and Will means it is also time for the Thursday 3. Our picks against the spreads, against the totals this weekend in the world of football. Last weekend was a good one for each of us. Justin was 2-1 to an overall record of 7-2 through 3 weeks. I was 3-0 last week. If you parlayed my picks together last weekend, you made some money. 6-3 overall. And Ramon Foster, an admirable 2-1 a week ago. The Jags 1/2 point away from at least tying the spread for you in Cincinnati. But that's okay. Those happen. Ramon 5-4, very respectable, very solid. I'm proud of us. We're off to a good start.
We are off to a good start, man. It's been times where that could have easily gone the other direction for me, Will. I've been bad out here, man.
That's okay. You got better last year, especially down the stretch in the season, and now you are in good. You peaked at the right time, and you used that momentum in training camp to prepare your team for an ascension season.
I'm not intentionally trying to lose people money, okay? That's what I'm telling you.
I would hope not.
No, absolutely not.
Again, the disclaimer we give with Ramon and I's off-field jobs, we are not putting our real money on these. Justin, you can speak for himself, but Ramon and I not putting our real money on these. I feel like that is always an important thing to say in a betting segment because usually if people are giving out bets, it means, hey, I'm so willing to do these, I'm putting my own money on them, and that's kind of the ethical way to do it in radio. However, considering our roles off the field, we are not doing that. So also for the bosses that listen to us that
that may say
are a part of those other extracurricular activities beyond this show, we are not breaking any rules.
No, we're not.
Simply giving picks.
Now, what I will say is yesterday, Ron Slay put out a 15-leg parlay.
That's sick.
Slay. I got a feeling it's going to hit, too.
Hey, when you've got the facilities to make 15-leg parlays, then you go ahead and make 15-leg parlays.
I got a feeling this gonna hit, man. Watch. I don't know. It looked good. It sounded good.
I see betting like going to a movie theater.
Yeah. Okay. What does that mean?
If you want to pay the extra little bit of money to enhance the experience of watching something, then yeah. You invest what you are willing to give up that you wouldn't notice is gone in order to enhance the experience of watching an event. Or, like in movies, you can wait a little bit longer, watch it for free when it comes out on a streaming service.
Yeah.
You can watch football for free without having to bet on it or having to have extra skin in the game. But it's like going to a movie theater.
Yeah, no doubt.
You're giving yourself a rooting interest. You're giving yourself a little bit more of an enhanced experience to watch something that you want to watch.
That's true. With a little bit more sound and volume to it.
100%.
By the way, I was told to tell you it's called a push.
Yeah, I know. Who's trying to correct me on that at 6:23 in the morning? I know it's called a push.
Well, that also just leans into the fact we can't bet. Okay, it's essentially what we're doing right now. About? It's called a push.
Just because I can't bet this year doesn't mean I haven't over the last 5 years since it came legal. What are we doing?
Tell them, we ain't no amateurs.
It's too early in the morning.
We're just following rules at this point, man. We're just following rules. Now, I can't wait till Saturday. Savage called me and let me know, hey, I did it again. I can't wait to hear if he hit this 15-legger, man. But you're not a parlay guy per se either, Will, when you were
Not anymore.
Anymore.
Learn the hard way.
You do. Is it too emotional with the parlays?
Nope. It loses you too much money.
Okay.
Maybe I'm just doing it wrong and I'm bad at it, but I am much better at just picking winners straight up. Not for me. Some people are parlay people. I don't blame you. I don't judge you.
Yeah.
It's just not for me. I don't think it's a consistent way for me to be in the green. It's a good way for me to be in the red. I was trying to do too much fun stuff based on what I wanted to see and just learn the hard way. Like, no, that's really stupid.
Yeah.
Anyway, Thursday 3. I'm going to go first because I went 3-0 last week.
Boo.
We'll have Ramon go second. We'll have Justin go third.
Oh.
Since you've gone first the first couple times. This one's pretty simple. The Tennessee Volunteers have proven that they can handle inferior opponents and be locked in, and I think you are going to get an extra locked in version of Tennessee this weekend against a UAB team that's not very good and against an opponent that has to feel the wrath of Tennessee after the way things went late against Georgia last Saturday. Tennessee is getting 38.5 points. I want them. I will take them. Give me Tennessee minus 38.5. Not only do I think the starters feel like they have something to prove, I also feel like the backups for Tennessee, specifically on offense, need to run the operation of that offense at a high level in order to earn I mean, the wide receivers, there's only 6 scholarship receivers now available because now Rodarius Jackson's hurt. So there are a lot of receivers in there that I think need legitimate playing time and are trying to elevate themselves to be ready to play because they're all going to be called upon at some point this year. I've been impressed by George McIntyre in spot duty against ETSU, and they proved to me against ETSU that they are capable and willing and motivated against inferior opponents. I think that'll happen against Saturday. I've got Tennessee minus 38.5 against UAB.
All right, then.
What you got for us?
Man, my first one, because I was hate watching UCLA, I fell in love with somebody else, man.
Jason Eck in New Mexico catching your eye.
No.
Oh.
Devin.
I was going to say there are 3 teams that have beaten UCLA, so you got a lot of options.
It's Utah versus Texas Tech this weekend.
Big one.
Devin Dampier is electric is what I will tell you. If you hadn't seen them play, you might want to watch Utah play. He's running the ball. He's throwing. He's leading them passing yards, obviously.
He's awesome.
But also rushing, too. Mm-hmm. And he is the Tasmanian devil out there, man. But this matchup is good. The line is at minus 3.5 from what I had it.
-3.
Utah. Okay. -3. Utah. And I'm going to take that one. But here's the thing. Texas Tech, solid team. They're ranked. Their quarterback was his name, Baron Morton.
Baron Morton.
Baron. Look at me. Amateur. Baron Morton.
Yeah, he's good.
He's also 70% completion percentage, almost 1,000 yards on the season already, too. This is a really good matchup, but I love the running component of Devin Dampier. I like that game.
The Big 12 is so fun because it's not the same, like every game has a total of 110 like it used to be, but it is it's the most wide open conference race every year. I mean, the SEC is more wide open than we thought, but the Big 12 is really fun to watch. Texas Tech kind of hasn't really played anybody yet. Oregon State is one of the worst teams of big programs out there. They beat them 45-14 last week, and 16 versus 17 in this matchup. That's gonna be a fun one. I'm with you. I think Utah covers that spread. Stephen Godfrey is the one that told us, again, this is the Pavia and Mateer route.
It sure is.
Kyle Whittingham not only brought in former New Mexico quarterback Devin Dampier, they also brought in his offensive coordinator Jason Beck. So those two were a package deal, or Godfrey made the point, like, don't fire your coach. Go pay $3 million for an offensive coordinator quarterback package deal, where that guy already knows the offense and can step in and teach it to everyone else. Devin Dampier is very fun to watch.
He's electric.
Very fun to watch.
One you want to see.
I like it. Yep. If your college football show that you listen to or your radio show that talks college football doesn't know who Devin Dampier is, you're listening to the wrong college football show.
No, for real. He's official. I'm telling you, it wasn't because they just made UCLA look that bad. No, this guy's tough. He will break. All right, just go watch him is what I'm telling you. J-Hawk got a pick.
I feel like Nico's made us more vigilant college football fans.
Yes.
We're more aware of what's going on in college football on the West Coast because we've been hate watching Nico throwing picks to the other team so much.
And here I am knowing
Nico.
that Devin Dampier is probably going to be at somebody else's school next year. I mean, Utah got bread, though. They'll pay him to stay.
Yeah, they do. They do have money. Justin, what you got?
Unlike you guys, I 100% have been putting my bets on these. So with that,
Hawks lost.
That's also why I have my own open.
Gets me every time.
This past weekend, I had a 7-leg parlay of just overs on these teams last Saturday. I hit every one but one, and it was Oklahoma versus Temple. It was 42-3. They hit the under just barely. So I'm going to go with an over on this one. So this is Oklahoma versus Auburn on Saturday afternoon. It is a really good matchup, an SEC matchup, top 25 matchup. And last week, Georgia, Tennessee, y'all thought maybe it could go under, but it smacked the over.
It did.
I think this was going to be much of the same. John Mateer, Ben Arbuckle has a really good offense going. They're, amongst the league leaders in the SEC for offense. Auburn, their defense has not been so hot to start the season. They can run the football, but how much can Jackson Arnold pass the football? Mm-hmm. He's going back to Oklahoma. What kind of environment's that going to be like? I like the over. I like just a lot of good offense, maybe not a lot of defense on the Auburn side. I like Oklahoma to win. I just don't know if I like them enough to win by the 6.5 or 6 point spread that it was. So I'm going to take the 47.5 over on this game.
Okay. I have no read on what happens in that game. That's a big prove-it game for both teams.
Yeah.
Both teams with run games that are a little too reliant on the quarterback run game right now. How willing is Jackson Arnold to run? How willing is John Mateer to run to help out rushing attacks that have not been great to start the year? But the Jackson Arnold revenge game is a very interesting one. Very interesting one this weekend. Okay, over 47.5. There you go. My second pick. Let's go to the Battle of Columbia. No, not two teams in Columbia, two teams in different Columbias. Missouri is hosting South Carolina in Columbia, Missouri. And Eli Drinkwitz and Missouri have South Carolina's number. So Missouri, not only are they 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 games, they are also 5-0 in their last 5 against South Carolina. 4th nationally in total offense. You probably have not heard of Ahmad Hardy yet. Sunbelt transfer coming into Missouri. Excellent running back, can run all over them. Bo Pribula. Remember the name.
I remember the
Bo
name.
Pribula is playing so well for Missouri, albeit against cupcakes, but playing so well for Missouri that Penn State fans are legitimately asking, did we choose the wrong quarterback between Drew Aller and Bo Pribula?
Wow.
Bo Pribula is also similar schematically and skill set wise to Diego Pavia. There are a lot of similarities between what Eli Drinkwitz is going to do with the pre-snap motions, with the option run, with the quarterback run for Missouri that gave South Carolina trouble against Vanderbilt. I think South Carolina is a dead man walking right now. I don't know the status of Lenore Sellers, who I read from Brad Crawford of 247 yesterday was on the practice field. What does his status look like? The other question I have for South Carolina and for Shane Beamer is, how willing are you to run Lenore Sellers and put him in harm's way after the concussion protocol that he was put in against Vanderbilt? Even if he's out there, is he a more static version in the pocket of himself? I think people don't know how good Missouri is, and I think Missouri covers the spread. It was 9.5. It's gone up a point to 10.5. I still like it there because it's below 2 touchdowns. That's what I think Missouri at least wins by over South Carolina. I don't think South Carolina's any good. I don't think they can protect their quarterback, so I think that may mean they are a little bit safer in how they deploy Sellers in this game. Give me Missouri minus 10.5 against South Carolina.
Gotcha. Okay. Missouri, again, their coach and their quarterback are both, I think, auditioning. Pribula is definitely, I think, going to be in the Heisman conversation for sure. And Drinkwitz is potentially Florida's coach. He's got to show and prove. This was also one of those situations, I think it needs to be stated. Drinkwitz went and got Pribula in January, if I'm not mistaken, early. He's been in on that offense for a long time. Yeah, so it's not crazy that they're doing this good right now, too.
Missouri has wins over Central Arkansas, Kansas, and Louisiana to start the season. They have put up at least 42 points in all 3 games, 61 against Central Arkansas, 42 in the comeback win over Kansas, and 52 against the University of Louisiana over the last weekend. What's your second pick, Ramon?
Man, I got the Bussin' Bowl.
Good one.
Michigan at Nebraska. I'm going to just go ahead and say, give me Michigan minus 1.5. It's tight at home. Here's the thing about it. Michigan has lost to an Oklahoma team. Michigan understands what it takes to also feel that burn. I don't think Nebraska does at this point. I think whatever Nebraska's got going on as base is off the back and emotions of Dylan Raiola. And they hadn't faced anyone. I think their first 3 games this year have been nothing but cupcakes. They're average.
Cincinnati.
Well, that's what I was going to get to at first. Houston Christian, Akron, they beat by a crazy amount. They're averaging 45 points a game, I think, at this point, too. The one game that was very spicy for them, they only won by 3. Cincinnati was their biggest matchup. I look at Michigan's situation, although their young quarterback is having his issues at times, I will say Michigan's defense will be able to get to Dylan Raiola more than he can do for them offensively. Nebraska, that is.
Sure.
I just don't know if they've been battle-tested enough to be able to handle this type of situation. Getting beat up the way Michigan did against Oklahoma, I think they want to inflict pain on Nebraska this upcoming weekend. So I'm going off of that one. They've learned from their mistakes, and I don't know if Nebraska is battle-tested enough to handle what Michigan's going to bring into there.
It is a big prove-it game for Nebraska football under Matt Rule to arrive.
Yeah.
To arrive as a playoff contender, to arrive as a legitimate program that is trying to get Michigan while they're down. This spread is up to 2.5.
Is it 2.5?
Michigan by 2.5 on the road. I don't like betting against home dogs who are within a field goal. It's just a rule that I have. I would go Nebraska on this side. I think Dylan Raiola is ready.
I thought about it. I don't know if I could trust him against that defense.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Michigan minus 2.5 at Nebraska for Ramon. What you got, Justin?
Let's go to Saturday night where Miami Hurricanes host the Florida Gators. It's a minus 7.5 point spread. I'm taking Miami on that all day. Florida is just shown to prove that they are so inconsistent on offense other than just turning the ball over. DJ Lagway with 5 picks last week. Also, if you want to do just a little comparison, Florida lost to USF straight up. Miami killed USF straight up. So I think not that that's super comparable, but I think it's something of note. I just think that Miami under Carson Beck is just a much more competent offense. And Carson Beck's got plenty of experience playing SEC teams, Florida teams, has beaten Florida the last 2 seasons at Georgia. He's thrown for almost just over 600 passing yards and has a couple turnovers, but Carson Beck leading this fantastic offensive line, good offense, and really a stout defensive line and linebacker core that Miami is. I think that they just are just a handful for Florida. And it's going to be a multiple score game, not just 7.5 points. I think it's going to be upwards of 10 to 14 points.
If I was picking that game, I would agree with you. I don't think I'm confident enough to put it in my 3, just because that Florida defense has only given up 2 touchdowns all season. Like, Florida was just not turning the ball over and crapping the bed in the red zone and just throwing the other team away from maybe winning at LSU last weekend. That's an oversimplification of the way that game went. I get that. But I don't know. I think they clean up the turnovers, and they're not atrocious. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting game.
Got to prove it.
Yes, they do.
Interesting game. My final pick, I am going to the National Football League. I'm taking a little bit of a risk here, but I think the LA Rams, when healthy, are elite. Okay. And right now they're healthy. I think the Philadelphia Eagles, while elite as a football team, are not clicking enough on offense to cover the 3.5 that they are giving up to the Rams this weekend in Philly. I've got the Rams plus 3.5 in Philadelphia. Rams have covered their last 7 games on the road. I think Philly will struggle to run it against a really good Rams defensive front and linebacker core. And when those weapons are healthy in Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, that's a really good offense. We saw it firsthand. I think Adoree Jackson will struggle to cover Puka Nacua. I think this is a Puka Nacua game for L.A. I think Matthew Stafford and the Rams want a little bit of revenge on the way that NFC Championship game went a season ago, and they were the closest team to beating Philly on the way to their Super Bowl title last season. Yeah. I mean, not NFC Championship, NFC divisional round game against Philadelphia last year. Of course, it was Washington that made the NFC Championship. So I've got LA plus 3.5 in Philly.
All right.
Eagles will win, Rams will cover.
You think I always account for travel also in those moments. Seeing Philly go all the way to the West Coast.
It's in Philly.
It's in Philly. I thought you said going to LA. Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. Nope. Hold up. I wondered, did they also stay on the East Coast then? The Rams?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Who's to say? I mean, they got Kroenke money to do it. So
yeah, they do. They can do whatever they want to at that point.
Third pick, Ramon.
My third pick, man, I got to go to the honey pot again. Sometimes when they're good to you, you stay with them. And that is Georgia Tech. Temple at Georgia Tech this weekend. I'm trying to find the quote right now from their head coach, man, Brent Key. He went on and said, he gave a quote from Nick Saban, said Nick Saban has always told us people not only die going up to Mount Everest, they also die coming down because they relax. That sounds like a Nick Saban quote, does it not? He said,
it does.
The way they've been able to move on from last week is because you got to stay focused. You got to stay locked in. I'm actually taking the under in this Georgia Tech Temple game just because defensively it's got to be one of those types of games where they kind of shut out what Temple has going on. And on top of that, that is still a big game to come down from. I do think they misfire from here and there. I do see Haynes King and his squad just simply winning this game. I don't see this being a 23.5-point spread. That's a little bit too much, in my personal opinion, coming back from that Clemson win. So I got the under.
There you go. Under 51.5. No, it's fair, too, because they're not going to run Haynes King as much and put him in harm's way
No
against
need
Temple.
to. Yeah,
Fair.
No need to.
Justin, your final pick, please.
2 Sunday Night Football for primetime Patrick Mahomes going to New York against the Giants. 2 0-2 football teams, one unlike the other. Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid together have never lost 3 games in a row until now. If you go back to the Super Bowl, that gets corrected. Xavier Worthy, who got hurt in Brazil in the first game, should be coming back this week. Practiced yesterday in limited capacity, is expected to return. You got Juju Smith-Schuster. The inconsistencies that have started with Mahomes and Travis Kelce, I think that gets fixed this week. There's a lot of issues that have happened that I think get corrected, and the Giants are a very inconsistent football team. I have not been high on them. I took the Commanders in week 1 to get that spread, and now I'm doing it again. -6 points, the same spread that the Commanders had. I'm doing it again. Kansas City is Sunday Night Football -6.
My only issue with that is that the Chiefs do some stupid stuff just to win games late, where they go for it on a 4th down when everyone else would just kick a field goal and earn themselves more points. Yeah. So they consistently don't cover spreads because they do things other teams wouldn't do to just run out the clock. It makes me irrationally angry. Anytime I've had a wager on the Chiefs,
that's what it sounds
of they'll take knees in order for the other team not to get the ball left back, like the Super Bowl a couple of years ago when they were just taking a knee on the 1-yard line so they could hit a 21-yard field goal to win the game. Makes me so mad. I will never touch the Chiefs spread ever because of the weird Jedi mind tricks they do late in games.
No doubt.
But I would agree with you again. If I'm making a pick of that, it would be Chiefs. 615-737-1045. There is a new honoree in the Titans Ring of Honor this weekend. What is it like so far in 2 different broadcast teams working with Mike Keith? What is Ramon Foster's thoughts on Mike Keith going into the Titans Ring of Honor? We'll get Ramon's thoughts on that coming up next.
It's Ramon and Will here for Window Nation, man. If you got old drafty windows or cheap builder-grade windows, now is the best time to replace your windows. Protect your home ahead of the fall and winter weather, where you can get replacement windows from Window Nation. Here's the thing, the reason it's the best time. The weather is a little bit better outside right now. You don't have to deal with unbearable heat of people removing stuff, your house overheating, your HVAC unit going up. Man, listen, and also on top of that, these are top-quality, energy-efficient windows from a trusted company, all at a reasonable price. Will?
And they also not only have reasonable prices, Ramon, they've got the best deals for the people. Save big this month. Buy 2 windows and you'll get 2 free. That's no payments for 2 years. You won't have to deal with monthly payments, a down payment, or interest until 2027. We trust Window Nation because of their A-plus rating for the Better Business Bureau. They're over 45,000 5-star reviews. Give them a call, 866-90NATION, or schedule a fast free estimate now at windownation.com. Save big this month. Buy 2 windows and you'll get 2 free by going online to windownation.com. Thursday morning, Ramon and Will continues, brewed by Scooter's Coffee. Titans get a little bit of a boost in stopping what the Colts do best. We'll tell you why coming up in 15 minutes. Why I think the Titans got some good news yesterday. Ramon, on Sunday, voice of the Titans emeritus, Mike Keith, will go into the Titans Ring of Honor. We will talk to Mike on the show this morning at 8:20. What has it been like working with him? How excited are you to see him immortalized within Nissan Stadium on Sunday against the Indianapolis Colts?
I say fun, and I actually mean fun too with Mike. You know that you just have to show up and know your part, and he's going to do everything else. Like, that's what's been super unique about it. His attention to detail has been an all-time high. Everybody who's around him is well informed. They're encouraged also to do more, say more, be more in his broadcast, man. And just watching him also have fun. I tell people, Mike does the broadcast, man, as if he's about to play in the game too. He's bouncing. Like, this is one of my few times being in the booth. Well, this is my first time being in the booth with him, watching his operation, his pregame. He's got a pregame. But when it's kickoff time, he's bouncing up and down like a boxer in the tunnel, man. And you hear and see his calls. Like, being able to, like, celebrate and slap fives with him, man, in the booth has been is awesome, is what it is, man. I've thoroughly enjoyed my first 3 games with him, and I'm looking forward to a whole lot more. He's fun in the booth, man.
Yeah.
Even towards the latter part of the game when Georgia was able to kick and win, it was still one of those situations like he pays respect to the teams on the other side. That's one thing I think is super unique about Mike. He will give you a lot of information about the other team that you're just like, how do you know all of these things? But when you listen to us, Steve Palazzolo texts us during the broadcast. It's just like, hey, enjoying the call. So it was kind of cool from him. I'm not sure if we were being played on Sirius or where he was listening.
Yep.
But I was just like, oh, if people are listening to me on Sirius, I need to tone it down. No, turn it up.
No, you don't. You don't. Same broadcast. It's just broadcast to different places.
Yeah. But Mike has been fun. He seems like he's having fun too. That's been the other part of it. It's been a good experience with him.
If you listen to our conversation when Mike was announced as voice of the Vols, we talked about this then, but Mike was so instrumental in creating and establishing the brand of the Tennessee Titans. And not just Titans Radio, but the Tennessee Titans as a football organization. And for someone who is a trusted voice in college and high school football in East Tennessee, when Mike spoke about things in football, it mattered because he had already established a trust with so many communities and so many people in this state. So saying, hey, we got this new pro football thing in Tennessee. We're going to grow this. We're going to grow a network of radio stations that are going to broadcast our calls. We're going to go just knock on doors around the South and say, hey, do you want to be a Titans radio affiliate? Like, the amount of work that went in on the front end of Titans Radio's establishment is a big reason why so many of those affiliates are still covering Titans games, and a big reason why many of us associate Titans football with Mike's voice. He went a long way to establishing a brand and an identity of football was synonymous with Mike's voice and with Titans Radio. And it still is, I hope, I say, as we kind of bring in a new era. But I know that it is because of the work that Rhett Bryan has done, the work that Larry Stone did, and the work that Brad Willis, Phil Noel, and so many excellent broadcasters have done. But Mike is kind of the friend you feel like you're watching the game with. And it is just so deserving. Being able to be honored by the Titans, being able to be honored by the team. I associate the sounds of Titans football with his voice, and it goes beyond just a radio broadcaster. Mike was the ultimate promoter of pro football in Nashville. And for a city and a state that was so inundated with college football, and still is, but such a college football area, Mike played a pivotal role in making pro football important in this city and in this state. And he deserves to be recognized not just for what he did on air, but what he did for the brand of Titans football in this state as a whole.
He's doing that with the Vols right now.
Absolutely he is.
I don't think many people understand, there's not like a lot of interns and just young people that you can have grow up under. Like, They released a internship that they were allowing, I think, 13 candidates to be a part and learn and grow. Like, he's trying to get, like, Vol Network is a thing. Like, Mike is a net that's trying to spread that even wider. Like, he's casting a net to get as many talented young broadcasters and folks in the media that he possibly can too. I honestly, to be quite honest with you, I think he's trying to create a system where UT Vol Network is known the way I guess Notre Dame is, or some of these like Northwestern Missouri. He's trying to make it big to where whenever ESPN, Fox, whoever is trying to hire somebody, you come to Knoxville to go get them. He's a competitor. I hadn't asked him that, but I guarantee he's trying to make it where they call UT before they call anywhere else.
I love it.
For journalism.
So excited for Mike. That is such an honor to be in an NFL Ring of Honor.
Don't happen.
Especially as someone who did not play for the team to be in the Ring of Honor. You've got to make a really big impact, and Mike certainly did. It's well-deserved. All that being said, we got Taylor Zarzer on the show at 9:20. Taylor is absolutely crushing it. Absolutely crushing it. And I'm so excited for him and so excited for the new sound of Titans Radio as well as we continue and do Game 3 coming up on Sunday against the Colts as well. But I thought it was worth giving Mike his flowers from us personally this morning, Ramon, because of the honor that he's going to have Sunday and kind of go through our own experiences with him because he's the best of the best.
Yes, he is.
No doubt. Good stuff. Hour 2 coming up next. What impresses you the most about Jonathan Taylor? And how do the Titans slow him down? There's one big reason why that just got maybe easier as of yesterday for the Titans. So we'll talk about that next.
I've recently seen 2 houses for sale, same neighborhood, almost identical, but one had an orchard sign and it sold for way more. So I asked my friends at Orchard, why? They said the first house used a traditional agent. After weeks of price drops and frustrations, they settled for less than they'd hope. The second owner, well, they chose Orchard and got more. The local Orchard agent didn't just list the home, they marketed it. They knew exactly which upgrades would attract serious buyers and brought in a pro to handle everything else. And even more, with Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program, the homeowner moved into their new home before the old one even hit the market. They skipped all the hassles and all the showings. Never settle for less. Get more with Orchard, the smarter, faster, hassle-free way to buy your new home, even before your old home sale. Start with your free home valuation, Orchard.com. Again, that's Orchard.com. And make sure you tell them that Ramon sent you.
7:01, good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The Tennessee Titans were back on the practice field yesterday as they prepare for Sunday's game against the Indianapolis Colts. The first injury report of the week came out yesterday. 4 players did not practice. J.C. Latham with a hip, Bryce Oliver with a knee, LaJarius Sneed with a back, and Kevin Zeitler with a bicep injury. 3 players were limited, and Khalil Mullings with an ankle, T'Vondre Sweat with an ankle, and Kevin Winston Jr. with a hamstring injury. In other NFL news, 2 more injuries as a result from Week 2 in the NFL. Tampa Bay Buccaneers guard Cody Mauch, despite finishing Monday night's game against the Houston Texans, will miss the remainder of the 2025 season with a significant knee injury. Also, the Los Angeles Chargers have placed edge rusher Khalil Mack on injured reserve after suffering an elbow dislocation in their Monday night win over the Las Vegas Raiders. Mack avoids a season-ending injury and is expected to be back in a few weeks. In college football news yesterday, the NCAA is eliminating the spring transfer portal window and moving to a one-time-only college football transfer window. This transfer window would be open for a 10-day period, but the dates of when that window would be had have not been determined. One rule would stand, though. If a head coach is fired, then a 30-day window would still be in effect. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you've got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Ramona Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee, caffeinated and opinionated for hour 2. 615-737-1045, how you make your voice heard, reacting to anything we got going on this morning. Coach Mack at Titans Radio in 15 minutes. Voice of the Vols, Mike Keith, and soon-to-be Titans Ring of Honor honoree at 8:20. Voice of the Titans, Taylor Zarzer, going to join us in studio at 9:20. And he is also on the television call at Tennessee UAB this weekend, so we'll get his thoughts on that. Maybe even a little bit of Ryder Cup as well, which is 8 days away next week that he's certainly an expert on as well. Ramon, this weekend, I think the Titans are going to get T'Vondre Sweat back. Brian Callahan said he was hopeful. Yesterday, T'Vondre, after a little bit of digging from media members who were talking with him around his locker, eventually said, I'm going to be out there Sunday. Now, I hope he's right, because last season, Ramon, when T'Vondre Sweat and Jeffrey Simmons were both on the field together, the Titans allowed 4.7 yards per carry. Or, 4.3 yards per carry. 10th fewest among all teams. Mm-hmm. When neither of them were on the field, that jumped up to 5.2 yards per carry, which would be the highest mark in the league against the run. 4.7 yards per carry with just Sweat or just Simmons, the 6th highest yards per carry allowed in the NFL. Simply put, against a rushing attack led by Jonathan Taylor and the option attack of Daniel Jones, the Titans need T'Vondre Sweat on Sunday against the Indianapolis Colts.
Yes, they do. Division game, like you say, you want all hands on deck this type of weekend, man. You're 0-2 going into it. There's a lot of pressure on it. And yeah, I will say pressure too, because nobody wants to be 0 for starting the season off. Training camp's way too hard. There's much go into it. Your plans isn't to have you go, winless throughout the first month of the season, and that's just kind of where you are. Well, you mentioned it's awesome for the team that T'Vondre Sweat will be out there, and I 100% agree with you. T'Vondre Sweat needs to be out there for him too. This is that second year for him becoming a pro that he's got to establish himself even more so. Denver, okay, however that unfolded, he was effective at times. He absolutely, I think, shrunk the neck of Bo Nix whenever the 4th down situation that they were in. You see what he can be. T'Vondre's got to build his legend up. You can't just be, in this league, the big guy that plays whenever you're at your best. No, like you got to show guys, even at your worst, that you are a menace out here. And this team needs that. Again, he's part of that young wave that can provide a strong foundation for this team moving forward. The ability to show that he's just not the big dude, that he's more than just that. He's a playmaker. The Tennessee tough defense that you're always used to, he's got to be available, man. And I'm not sure how hurt he was last week or what he was going through, but this is just a part of his process moving forward. He's got to continue to keep the I guess the description of what he is as a player out there and hot.
I think, too, for all those guys that were not drafted by Mike Borgonzi, there is an added level of proof you've got to give to Mike Borgonzi for the Ran-era players.
I agree.
And I think when T'Vondre Sweat was drafted, there was a level of, and we talked about it, this is not a new conversation. Like, Rand Carthon has gone on the record that there was a plan for T'Vondre, and Rand, you heard him on the call the Titans put out publicly when they drafted him, saying, like, do I have permission to get on him?
Yeah.
Like, I think they had a good relationship. So what does that look like now under Mike Borgonzi and an organization that is emphasizing leaner players? T'Vondre Sweat is a good football player. Ramon, he is not a lean football player.
No,
he is a different type, I think, than what these Tennessee Titans front office executives value more. So there is an added level of proof you've got to give to say, hey, I deserve to be here long term and I deserve to be a part of this organization moving forward. T'Vondre Sweat's not really the Titans type. He is an outlier. And building a franchise means you're always going to get some outliers that go against a lot of your rules. If you feel like there is so much in one bucket to fill up that maybe the buckets you value typically, traditionally, don't matter as much. So we'll see.
It's funny you say that, and some people probably listen to what you just said. It's like, Will's lying. He doesn't. No, it's true. New regime. I've never had to deal with new management. Kevin Colbert was always my GM. Omar Khan has been there. Coach Tomlin has been there. But changing from coaches, position coaches, I did have to deal with that. And the first thing that you want to do is make yourself or see if you are their type. That is 100%.
That's just life in the NFL.
One of the things that you have to do is, how can I prove myself to this guy? And I know Coach Tracy Rocker is a part of this, and he's got to continually prove himself to Coach Rocker also. But to your point, Borgonzi and Chad are the ones who are crafting this roster to look like what they think the Tennessee Titans are going to look like.
Yep.
And a part of that is, if you don't fit the mold, then you better be one heck of a playmaker.
Yeah, you've either got to fit the mold in some way, or you have to be so good doing things your way that it doesn't matter.
They can't kick you out.
Like, for example, J.C. Latham's weight loss this offseason. J.C. Latham is a Rand Carthon draft pick who has changed his body and changed his style of play to an extent to fit the new perspective and point of view under Mike Borgonzi and Chad Brinko. And this is not, we're not singling out Sweat for anything. We're not saying that T'Vondre's not put in the work. I'm not insinuating anything negative about Sweat. I'm making a blanket statement, Ramon, that anyone who is not drafted by the current GM has to go an extra step to prove to the new GM that they deserve to be part of this thing moving forward.
I agree.
T'Vondre Sweat is a football player with a very rare talent for his size. I am in no way trying to get rid of T'Vondre Sweat. Just simply pointing out that T'Vondre has got to go the extra mile to prove to Mike Borgonzi and I think the rest of the front office that he's the guy moving forward.
Let's correlate it to Tampa real quick, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Tampa has Vita Vea. Tampa also this offseason brought in Big Desmond Watson. Other than the weight-wise, Vita Vea is big. I'm not sure what his number is, 3+.
340, 350.
Yeah. Desmond Watson, a big D tackle from the University of Florida, was brought in because he's somewhat of a type like Vita Vea. Big body, big space clogger is what he is. Now, let's fast forward. Because of he couldn't get himself in shape or whatever his situation was, they cut him. You know who Tampa just brought up? Elijah Simmons, former Vol. He's now on their current active roster. What I'm saying is teams have templates for what they want their players to look like and be like. And to your point about T'Vondre's, he's a unique player that you don't have any other player like on this Tennessee Titans roster. And that's the point of it all, is they have their styles, and T'Vondre's availability and proving that he can play in this system and needs to be a part of the system is a part of his play too for the GMs that are here. Because to your point, the conversation was Rand having to make sure that he was going to hold him accountable, and did, and you saw what it looks like. And also, Keandre Colburn played a part in that too, who's no longer
not
here
there anymore. Right.
You don't want him to be a guy that you got to watch him.
Right. And I don't think he is. Like I'm not trying to insinuate that there are any big issues with T'Vondre.
He's missed a good bit of training camp. Now we can be honest about it. He's missed a good bit of training camp, and he's also missed a game already. His availability has to play a part in this, and you got to always look and see. To your point, you're always auditioning.
Right.
Especially perception.
Yeah, and to that point, like, yes, you need big guys. I'm not saying that Tavondre needs to be a lean player. You want the right kind of big, though. Mm-hmm. The muscle to body fat percentage and the different things, Ramon, that keep your joints and keep your soft tissue healthy. And soft tissue is not as big of a deal for big guys. It's more joints and stuff like that. But to that point, yes, obviously you need big guys, you need size, and you need power up the middle. Mm-hmm. Tavondre, if he hits his ceiling as a pro in this league, is not the kind of player that you find on every NFL roster. There are not many Tavondre Sweats that walk around in the National Football League. I still think there is a world of potential that can be met there. I think he is pivotal this weekend against Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offense that is number 2 in the NFL in total offense, number 2 in passing offense, number 3 in rushing offense, with the NFL's leading rusher in Jonathan Taylor with 236 yards. Big one this weekend. Very big one. And we talked about that too, about what is the balance for Tavondre? Is he Vince Wilfork or is he Vita Vea? And you've spoken about that of picking a role within this defense where are you the run stopper? Or if you're going to get upfield, is that what's really best for this team? You getting the sacks and you being the interior vertical pass rush? Mm-hmm. You made the point, right? You want him to be more of a Vita Vea type of player.
I do, because he's that type of athlete. But to our point, he wasn't available much in training camp, and he missed a game already this season. I think he has the capabilities of being that, and I think Tavondre Sweat wants to be more Vita Vea. I think he wants to be able to swim guys, be a 3-down player, come in and rush situations. Also, not just to push a pocket, but to also create some negativity and get to the quarterback. I do think he's that type of player. You don't move the way he move and bend the way he bend just to be a run stopper. There's absolutely no way. He was the best interior defensive and offensive lineman in college. He won the Outland Trophy.
Right.
So he's got the capability. It's about his availability moving forward for him. And this was a short time that he's had already.
Comment on YouTube says, well, someone needs to go get sacks. Yeah, but not at the expense of giving up 5 yards per carry.
Yeah, man.
That's the thing. I mean, right now the Titans are struggling in second halves to stop the run, and you're not in position to go get sacks when you're in 3rd and 3 consistently because teams are running the ball well on 1st and 2nd down. That was the big key that Jeffrey Simmons said yesterday, was that he didn't feel like the Titans were putting defenses or putting offenses behind the 8 ball, behind the chains on 3rd down. Mm-hmm. And that was not allowing them to go tee off on quarterbacks, saying that teams have been good on 1st and 2nd down against us, and Indy, that is what makes them really good, is that they stay on schedule. Indy is not an explosive offense. Mm-hmm. They're middle of the road in terms of explosive play creation this season. They just don't really beat themselves. Yeah. They are consistently in 2nd and 5, 3rd and 2, and it means that they don't have to just be in a drop-back passing game on 3rd and long.
If you make Daniel Jones, I think, be in 3rd and 7+, it can be problematic for him. That's what Jeff's saying. Give us a chance is what he's saying on 1st and 2nd down.
Give the punter a chance to actually come out and do his job, too.
Absolutely. Yeah, he has.
Because he has not played yet.
It's
crazy. That's not normal.
No, that's not normal.
That's not normal at all. All the people who laughed at you for wanting Daniel Jones in the offseason, so far that take is aging pretty well.
Can he handle it this weekend? 3 in a row for him. Can he go through? What's his streak? Can he go 3 in a row as a player?
Coming up, Titans Radio's head coach, Coach Mack, joins us next.
You're losing your hair and you need a simple solution that works. You want the best, man. Modern technology with top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need Dr. Tanya Pauls and her team at Advanced Hair. They've completely redefined hair restoration, from the experience itself to their unmatched results, man. Receding hairline, balding spot, thinning hair, address them all with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment in a calm, relaxed environment with the most experienced professionals. Advanced Hair has performed tens of thousands of these breakthrough treatments, and get this, your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day. No one in Nashville can offer anything like the Advanced FUE found at Advanced Hair, and I highly recommend their team too. It starts with your free consultation. All right, you can call the number 629-348-HAIR, and if you qualify, you'll also get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. So refine your hairline with the team that's redefined hair restoration, and that's Advanced Hair, man. Again, the number 629-348-HAIR, or visit our website at advancedhair.com.
What's going on? Will Boulding here for my new obsession. Yeah, that's right. Daisy French onion dip has been a mainstay in my place since football season started. Whether you are eating in parking lots or at watch parties, whether you're dipping with chips or wings, maybe you're working in some veggies there. You're better than me. You're being healthier. I'm telling you, whatever you're dipping, Daisy French onion dip is what you need to be dipping with. Daisy has come out with a delicious Daisy French onion dip and a Daisy ranch dip. I'm telling you guys, these are a game changer. The consistency of it, the flavor, the homemade taste to it, they're as delicious as a homemade dip. It's going to taste like you just made it up in your kitchen, even though I have no idea how I would even start to make one of these. Real herbs and spices, other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen as well. Go check it out. They're at grocery stores everywhere around Middle Tennessee. If you're listening outside Middle Tennessee, you got the option as well. Look for it at a grocery store near you. That's Daisy French onion dip. Get it for your football this weekend. Ramona Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee on 104.5 The Zone at hour 2 on your Thursday morning. With the 11-year NFL veteran involved for life, Ramon Foster, I'm Will Boulding. Joined this morning by Titans Radio's head coach. All of our visits with Coach Mack presented by Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer. Mac, good morning. How are we doing?
Doing good, Will. Ramon, just getting towards the end of the week here.
Love it. Yes, sir. When you look at this Colts offense, Mac, and the way Shane Steichen and this team have gotten the best out of Daniel Jones, what impresses you about his play, and what are they doing to put him in the position to be so successful so far?
Well, they're very efficient. They really are. I mean, Daniel Jones has always had the ability to be a good quarterback. I mean, and a lot of time it depends on the environment that you're in. This is a great environment for him. He's surrounded, at all parts by some pretty good players, and he's got a young tight end that's just blowing the doors off of everything. Of course, we know that the running back is something that everybody's had to deal with, and I mean, he's got a nice group of receivers. I mean, Michael Pittman Jr. has always been a problem, for the Titans. He's got a good group. I mean, it's a pretty salty group. You look at the numbers. I mean, they're one of, if not the top offense as far as the numbers right now after 2 weeks in the league. It's pretty impressive to watch when you start studying film.
Mac, there's a big difference between Daniel Jones' skill set, of course, and Anthony Richardson's, and you go from like the most arm strength possible to a guy that maybe doesn't have as much just arm talent, but knows where the ball needs to go and when it needs to go there. What about this system and what Shane Steichen is doing fits Daniel Jones' skill set? What makes him a fit for this offense and this scheme?
Well, I mean, it's just he's efficient. I mean, it doesn't, they don't ask him to do a lot of things. I mean, arm strength is pretty far down the list as far as something that you have to be able to have accuracy. You have to understand what the offense is trying to do. You have to understand, the form and the function of what you're doing offensively. That's why it takes a lot of quarterbacks some years to soak it up and figure it out in this league. I mean, it's not so much the system; it's just the fact that the people that he's surrounded with. I mean, everybody. It's very, very efficient right now, and they're moving the ball on the ground and they're moving the ball through the air. I mean, they don't make a lot of mistakes. There's not a lot of mistakes right now, in this offense. They're staying on course. They're staying in front of the chains. They're just very methodical, and that's most good offenses are very methodical.
No doubt about it. Coach Mack, speaking of being methodical, man, the leading target getter on the Indianapolis Colts team is rookie tight end Tyler Warren. I know there's ways to attack a rookie quarterback, Coach Mack. You can blitz him, scheme him. How do you attack a rookie tight end who's been as efficient as he has for this Colts offense?
Well, first, Ramon, they put him in a lot of different places. I mean, he's not just lined up one place. I mean, he'll be in the backfield. I mean, he'll be split out. They do a lot of motion with him. Plus, I mean, he's a big unit. I mean, the guy's a mismatch. When he gets down the field. I mean, it's just they're using him very, very efficiently, but they're not putting themselves. I mean, when I go through the film and I start charting it, I don't see a lot of 3rd and 15s. Mm-hmm. 3rd and 15, your tight end is not going to be very efficient. When you've got 3rd and 4 or 5 or 6 or first and 10s and you're on schedule, then when you can scheme around a tight end, because now you put a defense in a 50-50 strut, being able to play run and pass. I mean, it's just, again, they're being very, very efficient with him. Plus, I mean, he's a first-round talent. I mean, we knew that in the draft looking at it. And when they took him, we knew it was going to be a problem, twice a year just because of the talent base that the guy has.
Coach Mack, it's a lot of fuss is made about third down, getting off the field on third down. At least from a wide perspective, Coach Mack, nobody ever mentions the first and second down efficiency plays. Defensively, how much do you guys as coaches hone in on that aspect of it more than just, hey, get off the field on third down, Coach Mack?
No, it's everything. I mean, anytime you listen to me talk, especially about this football team the first 2 weeks, I mean, you've got to be able to stay on schedule. If you're not on schedule, then everything else you're working uphill. I mean, when you've got third and double digits, which the Titans have had too many of them in their first 2 weeks, you're working uphill all of the time. As a defensive coach in this league, I called a lot of defenses. I used to try to work hard to get a team to third and double digits, and if a team is putting themselves behind the chains early with pre-snap penalties. If I can get it as a defensive signal caller, Ramon, if I can get a team behind the chains without really having to do anything, the favor is on my side the whole way through that whole series. And so, I mean, you've got to be able to stay on course offensively. If people say, well, how do you get in rhythm offensively? You get in rhythm by staying ahead of the chains down to down.
Coach Mack at Titans Radio with us, presented by Two Rivers Ford. Mack, what improvements did you see from Cam Ward from weeks 1 to 2? I think a lot of people were leaving that stadium making the same statement that we were, saying, all right, regardless of whatever else happened, we got a quarterback. What did you see that quarterback do to progress on Sunday against the Rams, and what do you want to see from him on Sunday against Indy?
Well, his consistency. That's the thing, and that's got to stay the same way. He's got to stay consistent, just with the way that he approaches it. The thing that has to happen is, I mean, look, you can't count on having a transcontinental throw on third down across your body to the opposite pylon, to score touchdowns. I mean, he's got the ability to do that, but you don't want to put him in that situation to do that kind of stuff. He's been very, very consistent. The thing that has to change is, again, I keep saying it, they can't be in that third and double digit stuff as to where really now people are just, I mean, it's very simple to watch. Mm-hmm. They're starting putting 5 people across the line of scrimmage with a tsunami rush and putting coverage back by the sticks. And that's the easiest defense in the world to play, because now you force single blocks clear across the front. You're playing the sticks back there. All you got to do is break up on the throw. That's putting a lot of pressure on a lot of people. So they've got to take the pressure off of themselves by not putting themselves in those types of third downs.
Mac, Brian Callahan's talked a lot this week about halftime adjustments because people in the media have asked, and rightfully so, what needs to change in the second halves of these games in order to sustain the first half effort and not be outscored in the third and fourth quarter. Callahan's talked about how there's not really that much time at halftime, Mac. There's a lot of adjustments. Right.
Yeah, there's no halftime adjustment.
Right. Walk us through that, if you will.
Adjustments are made series by series, especially nowadays with the way those tablets are set up. And look, in the National Football League, you've got 13 minutes when that final whistle blows at halftime. That's there's no halftime adjustments. Those adjustments are made series by series on the sideline. You may have a chance to put some of the protections and things up, have somebody already put them up on the board when you go in. But your adjustments, if you're doing it correctly, which they're doing, I mean, I did it for 31 years, is you do it series by series on the field, because time-wise, I mean, those halftime adjustments, that's something that people have picked up from watching the movies.
Right. What is that process like, Mac, though, with the tablets? Like, how much has that changed over time to really be able to watch real video and do, film analysis of pictures, right, in real time?
You can't watch video.
Right.
It's not live video. You can't run video, but what it does is those tablets now, they project 8 images that you can sort immediately, as far as to what's going on. It's a lot easier. It used to be, I mean, they'd take those little Polaroid snapshots, look like they were taken from a B-52 bomber, 30,000 feet, and you'd have to try to figure out what it was. It's very, very clear and clean now, and that's why I say, that's why you see everybody looking at those tablets on the sidelines. Well, those tablets are hooked up to the booth. I mean, it's changed the whole thing. That and the communication inside the helmets have changed the whole thing very much more efficient than it ever used to be. And of course, the offense used to have, the communications in the helmet, and the defense still had to do it by smoke signals. Well, then they made it even and got everybody in the helmet. So, look, those changes and those things that you can adjust now, they're done instantaneously all the time, continuously throughout the game.
No doubt. I was telling Will, man, I've seen plenty of coaches have to wait on slides or the printer's not working, Coach Mack, and coaches go bananas trying to get those steal shots, man. Like, you want to take a coach off, don't have the printer ready.
Look, we used to hire two when I was in Chicago because it was so high up. We would hire two guys they would stand in the booth, and as soon as it was done, they would run it from the top of Soldier Field down to the field.
Wow.
Yeah. No, it's pretty wild, man. That's insane. Coach Mack, a young fella, man, Alec Ayumanor is in a position to really climb another rung to solidify himself, man. We've seen him make plays in training camp, and now it's transitioning to Sundays also. His role could grow immensely throughout the duration of this year, Coach Mack, if he stays healthy and continue to connect with Cam.
Yeah, well, he's a big combat catcher. I mean, that was his MO coming out of Stanford, and and you're right, Ramon. When we watched him all through training camp, and you knew this guy, was going to get his chances. You got most of this draft class has got to contribute. Mm-hmm. They're having to contribute. That's just what this roster is right now. They're razor thin and depth wise. The young guys have got to play, but Alec he's been someone. And it really doesn't surprise you because you've watched him. I mean, I've watched him work ever since he's gotten there, and I think the results that we're seeing now in the first 2 weeks. I mean, they just scratched the surface. If the offense again, as I said, can ever get on track as to whether or not always climbing uphill, playing against the chains. He's the perfect X receiver. He's exactly what you want. Because he's a combat catcher, he's nuanced, he can win most of those contested catches, and he's got an ability, to make the big catch. So that's what you're looking for. For he and DK both, I think their skill sets complement each other, and we're going to see some more of both of those guys.
Yeah, Mac, I was going to ask you about Jeff versus Quentin Nelson this weekend, but I want to touch on Chimere DK. If that young man stays healthy and there's no flags on the play, he has the potential, Coach Mack, one, to be a special returner. But I'd almost even say with his unique skill set that he's shown so far, this is me talking outside the booth here, he feels like he has the potential to become a Pro Bowl type returner this year, Coach Mack. What have you seen from him that's making him unique on these units? I know Coach Fossil is big time in that.
Well, let me just give you some really good analysis. He's fast. Okay, how's that?
That's a good start. That's a good start.
That's some real in-depth analysis from the booth from Coach Mack. Yeah. I mean, the dude can run. We knew that, coming in. That was his calling card, coming out of college. But the thing that when you watch him during practice, see all of these returns. I mean, there's more nuance to returns right now, especially the way that returns are set up for kickoffs in the National Football League now. I mean, it's pretty nuanced, and you've got to be able to block in space. And I mean, it's completely different than it used to be when it was 40-yard sprints, Braveheart running at each other. It's pretty much when I watch practice, that's one of the things I really watch early on is to see how Bones is scheming up the blocking on the returns. That's number one. And the other thing is, it's important that he understands what Bones is trying to put in, because a good returner, especially now the way kickoffs are, can really help if he understands how they're trying to set up the blocks where he has help, rather than just take off running straight ahead without thinking about it. And so I really like the player, but I think he's in a fortunate situation because he's got a special teams coach that understands how to utilize his skills.
Mac, as well as anyone, the honor it is in the NFL of putting someone in the Ring of Honor. This weekend, Mike Keith goes into the Titans Ring of Honor. How excited are you to celebrate Mike on Sunday?
Well, I mean, I just did a piece, for us that they're going to use. Rhett and I did. They filmed a, tribute that we made, and these types of things are rare. They really are. And so, I mean, it's a huge honor. And one of the things that I said, when I was, talking to the camera and talking to Mike, is a lot of these things people say, well, you well deserved. I mean, this is more than deserved; it's earned.
Mm-hmm.
And it's earned over decades. I mean, Titans radio is what it is because of Mike Keith. And there's very seldom that you get a chance to start a network twice in your broadcasting career. I mean, I understand that. I know how hard it is to start and establish something in a coaching career. I have a little bit of an idea of what it is in a broadcasting career now that I've done it nearly for double-digit years. But Mike Keith is an icon. He's an icon in this state, but he's also an icon nationally. I mean, he made Titans radio what it is. So I give Amy Adams Strunk and Kenneth and the whole organization, and especially ownership group, a lot of credit for giving this honor to Mike Keith. It's well earned. I'm really happy for him.
It's well said. Coach Mack, Dave McGinnis with us Thursdays at 7:20 here on the show. Titans and Colts. Titans radio coverage off and running at 11 a.m. Some great special features on Mike as well that you will hear on the broadcast this weekend. Thank you, Mac. Appreciate you, sir.
Appreciate it, Mac.
All right, guys. See ya.
All right. Coach Mack with us this morning, previewing Titans and Colts presented by Two Rivers Ford. Cam Ward got introduced to the Titans-Colts rivalry yesterday, didn't he, Ramon?
Yes, he did.
A Colts linebacker said something dumb that we'll play for you coming up next.
It's Ramon Foster for Prince's Hot Chicken, the original hot chicken. Yes, and I do mean that. All your hot chicken explorers started with Prince's, okay? Just want to throw that out there, man. They got numerous locations around the city, man. 5814 Nolensville Pike. You can get it in the airport coming in or out of the airport, man, coming in or out of the city. I must say, my kids, man, they listen to me. My oldest flew out yesterday, and he sent me a text message and said, Dad, I'm at the Prince's Hot Chicken. I said, son, I raised you right, man. But you can also do the exact same thing, too, man. And they got all types of flavors for you, too. All type of heat measurements for you, man. You can get plain, you can get light mild. I stay at light mild. You can go above that if you want to, all the way up to 3X hot. But they also have numerous sides: mac and cheese, potato salad, baked beans, seasoned fries, greens, coleslaw, whatever you want, they have, man. Also, their desserts. You can get some strawberry cake, a pecan pie, so much more. It's also football season, which means we have large parties. Prince's Hot Chicken, they also cater for you also from 15 people up to 1,000 plus. No party size is too large for Prince's Hot Chicken, man. Get to one of the numerous locations around the city. You know the brand, you know the name. You can go to princeshotchicken.com to book your catering event or simply visit one of the many locations. But make sure you tell them that Ramon sent you.
Wrapping up the first half of the show on Ramona and Will, fueled by Scooter's Coffee. Cam Ward explained yesterday how he can help his offensive line play better. Big topic of conversation for the Titans offense moving forward into week 3. We'll hear about that coming up here in 15 minutes. If you are heading to work, if you're always thinking like, man, you guys put these good interviews late in the show. I mean, I want to hear Mike Keith talking about being inducted to the Titans Ring of Honor. I want to hear Taylor Zarzer talking about the first couple weeks of the season, talking Tennessee UAB. Never fear. Time travel with us. Go in the time machine called Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Hit the follow button while you're there. Get every episode of the show. Every hour of the show is right there for you. There is no excuse to miss any of our content that we have.
You know what's so cool, Will? We'll tell people what to do and also show them how to do it.
Sure.
That was great instructions by you, man. I'm just saying.
Thank you.
Great instructions.
Welcome to the Titans-Colts rivalry, Cam Ward. James Boyd put this out there yesterday, a great Colts beat writer. Says Colts linebacker Zaire Franklin talking about the touchdown throw by Titans rookie Cam Ward against the LA Rams. Here is Zaire Franklin taking a little shot at Cam.
I mean, I hope he throws that play again. Like, it wasn't a good throw. But, I mean, he's a talented player. So, you know, like I said, he can make all those throws. His arm angle, obviously, is exceptional. He's got a zip in the ball. Like I said, he's the number 1 overall pick for a reason. I was a fan of him when he was in college. But, you know, when you know you got a guy like that that's able to make plays, you know, you just got to make sure you stay on your assignments. But hopefully he throws the ball again.
Zaire Franklin, Colts linebacker.
Cam should have his team. The Titans go out and win this. He throws the ball on him. Just clip that Zaire Franklin. I was a fan of him. Just end it right there. I was a fan of him. I will say this. Zaire Franklin ain't wrong.
I think he's wrong about it not being a good throw.
Now,
it was
that
a great
part he was
throw.
wrong about.
Yeah.
That part he's not wrong about.
He put it where only Elikiah Manor could go get it. There was no DB on the backside. There was no one else who could have caught that ball other than Elick, the way that he threw it.
Absolutely. 100%. He lied about that. It was a great throw.
Okay.
It was a great catch, great moment. Absolutely. All greats right there. What he's not wrong about is this, hoping that he throws it again, because now that you've shown me, now I know what to expect. This is where Cam's adjustment has to play a part into his play. You hear Zaire Franklin chomping. I'm talking about ready for this type of matchup and this type of game for a guy that throws this way, because to me, it sounds to me Zaire Franklin and the Colts defense are saying to themselves, this guy likes to take risks. These risks aren't a traditional way of playing football in the NFL. The other part of that is now they're alert for the types of things that he likes to do. And it's almost as if they want to see him be baited into trying to play this way, which is why I say stand on schedule for Cam. Taking what's in front of you, throwing guys, getting open instead of trying to find guys that are open down the field. It needs to be more part of his game. What I'm saying is this, be more disciplined in your approach to making plays instead of saying, we'll play backyard until you get more set. Now, again, Patrick Mahomes has played this way. He's got to establish that this style is going to work for him, is my point of what Zaire Franklin is saying.
In the low red zone is the moment to take some of those risks, because when the field gets condensed like that, there is more room for backyard football because it's just harder to get open. Like if you have the ability to sustain a play and create off schedule, that's the time to take that risk. Not putting the ball in harm's way, but taking more of a chance to just get free and stay alive, because if you do take a 10-yard sack, you know, God forbid, you're still going to be able to kick a field goal within easy range. It's not like you're on the 40.
Yeah,
and a 10-yard sack knocks you out of range. So, yeah, I agree. I mean, it's a good throw. It's a bad decision, but a good throw.
Awesome throw. No, the moment was phenomenal. Every angle that the NFL account has shown from it, the Titans account has shown from it, was phenomenal. The fans that even they're piecing their videos together. It was an awesome moment for him, man. I thoroughly enjoy what that play was. Now it's, all right, break it down and let's go ahead and start playing football at this point, because teams are going to, I feel like it's the same thing that we saw Cody Barton do to him. Like, all right.
Bait him.
Yeah, bait him.
Yeah.
Bait him. And you don't want to see him falling for the okie doke in these type of moments.
No, and this doesn't need to be what the Titans major in. The Titans still need to be a more traditional offense versus just Cam running around and having 7 seconds from snap to throw and just trying to find somebody open off script. Like, that's not sustainable every play. No, nobody's saying it is.
No.
It can be the cherry on top of the offense. It does not need to be the ice cream of the sundae.
Right.
Matthew's in Franklin, 615-737-1045. Hey, Matthew.
Good morning, gentlemen. This morning I had to drop my wife's car off to get serviced. I'm giving her a ride to her work. Listening to 104, I'm a loyal listener. And she said, that guy talking sounds like a sexy, black, very white that came from the country.
Is that me or Will?
Hello?
Is that me or Will?
Okay, yeah.
That was Moan.
Hey.
A sexy, country, very white.
Listen.
Thank you, question mark?
My second career will also be voiceovers, okay? I need your wife's subscriptions is what I'm telling you, okay, moving forward. We will make a bit of this thing.
Are you worried, Matthew?
Just a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, Moan is Moan.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. He may have got the nickname because he makes.
Whoa!
Hey, okay, all righty. You know what, Keisha, I'm going to do you a solid and just put Matthew on hold, and we're just going to end it right there.
Hey, shut up. Matthew, I know I got one subscriber if I ever start a voice channel, okay?
Thank you, Matthew.
Appreciate it, Matthew.
And thank you, Mrs. Matthew.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there we go.
Keisha, I got you.
Got a face
See ya,
for radio,
Matthew.
baby.
What on earth just happened?
Hey, listen, I will say in my second career now from football, like that is the one thing that does happen a whole lot more. It has
voiceover
been.
work?
I'll take some voiceover work. But what I'm telling you is this. I'll be somewhere and I'm talking and people turn their heads real quick. I was like, I know their voice. I'm like, well, you don't see the body? Okay. You don't realize I used to play football? Which is, I will say this too. I'm more appreciative of that because I always wanted to be more than just a football player too. Like that's always been my thing. That's one of the main reasons I joined the fraternity because I saw more of the college shot to cap Alpha Psi. But also that part of it too, like you want to be more than what you are, what they think you are. So
coming up, we're going to have Ramon sing Keith Sweat hits coming up on Ramon.
You know I'm a Keith Sweat fan.
Nobody.
You know I'm a Keith Sweat fan.
Nobody.
Okay.
Anyway.
Got my homeboy.
Did you see the video on that went viral on TikTok of Tyler? Did you see that?
Keisha just text me with a
Keisha, I got you. I already told. Look, I've done my part here. Did you see the viral video of the kid singing Keith Sweat on a cruise?
No.
Oh, I've got to send this to you.
I missed that one.
There's this kid. I don't think his name is actually Tyler. I think he was being typecast as Tyler, and typecast as in he just looked like a
Tyler.
basic white dude. So he's probably my age.
You said it, not
and
me.
yeah, no, I'm the one that said it. And is this guy on a cruise, and he's saying that song by Keith Sweat, and all the people are like, all right, Tyler, let's see what we got, and he crushes it, and the whole floor of the cruise is just going nuts. Of Tyler, the who can love you like me? Nobody.
Come on, Will.
It's really, really fun.
What a banger. Listen,
really fun.
I've curated my Keith Sweat Pandora station. No skips. Elite. Do you hear me? People say Keith Sweat's a whiner. No, you just don't know good music.
Coming up, Cam Ward explains how he can help the Titans offensive line. Yes, sorry to bring it from Keith Sweat back to the Titans, but
there's a lot of crying on Sundays, too.
Cam admitted there is something that he can do that is within his control to help the Titans offensive line not give up the amount of pressures it has over the first 2 weeks. You hear from him next.
Oh, yeah. It's Ramon Foster for Medical House Calls. That's the website, simply. medicalhousecalls.com. All right. 7 days a week, Monday through Sunday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., man. They have same day appointments available or next day guarantee. You can also call or text them to 615-838-2375. That's the number you can put in your phone. If you don't like talking on the phone, simply text them and set up. But a team member will show up to your house or wherever you want them to within a few hours, man. They offer at-home urgent care, primary health care also, and a lot of mobile IV therapy, man. We get it. We're busy. You don't have time to get off work from time to time. You're in a situation where you got to get checked out, but you don't have anybody or any available time. Well, set this up to where they can just simply come to your house, man. If you need IV therapy, if you've been feeling sick or you have an infection, if you got injuries at home, you can also get your in-home labs done too. So much that you can do, man, for a flat fee. You will get an evaluation, full exam, treatment plan, and prescriptions if you need them. As I told you before, if you're feeling fatigue from the weekend, persistent illness or an injury, or difficulty focusing or being productive, there's a lot of people using IV therapy to get themselves back right, man. It can boost your energy and just reset you for the upcoming week or an event that you have to go to. Medical House Calls is a company that you need to call. Again, medicalhousecalls.com is the website, but you can call or text them at 615-838-2375. And be sure you tell them that Ramon sent you.
8:01, good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The Tennessee Titans were back on the practice field yesterday as they prepare for Sunday's game against the Indianapolis Colts. The first injury report came out yesterday. 4 players did not practice. J.C. Latham with a hip injury, Bryce Oliver with the knee, LaJarris Sneed with the back, and Kevin Zeitler with a bicep injury. 3 players were limited, in Kalel Mullings with an ankle, Tavondre Sweat with an ankle, and Kevin Winston Jr. with a hamstring injury. In other NFL news, 2 more injuries as a result from Week 2 in the NFL. Tampa Bay Buccaneers guard Cody Mauch, despite finishing Monday night's game against the Houston Texans, will miss the remainder of the 2025 season with a significant knee injury. Also, the Los Angeles Chargers have placed edge rusher Khalil Mack on injured reserve after suffering an elbow dislocation in their Monday night win over the Las Vegas Raiders. Mack avoids a season-ending injury and is expected to be back in a few weeks. In college football news yesterday, the NCAA is eliminating the spring transfer portal window and moving to a one-time only college football transfer window. This transfer window would be open for a 10-day period, but the dates of when that window would take place have not been determined yet. One rule would stand, though. If a head coach is fired, then a 30-day window would still be in effect. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you've got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Second half of the show, hour 3, getting started. Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooter's Coffee. Coming up in 15 minutes, voice of the Vols, Mike Keith, previews Tennessee UAB. Talks about being inducted into the Titans Ring of Honor this upcoming weekend, and talks all things Tennessee. Mm-hmm. Mike K. and Franklin, as he's known from time to time on this program. Taylor Zarzer going to stop by at 9:20. He is also on the call for Tennessee UAB. And, of course, we'll have Titans and Colts for you on Titans Radio this Sunday. I am just asking Ramon for one Ryder Cup question for Taylor.
That's it?
One Ryder Cup question.
Run away with it. I'm interested in other types of sports, so I'm into this. You go as far as you want to go with that one, because I like to think that I understand it and get it, but I don't, okay? And so I need to learn as much as I can before. Everybody in retirement is golfing now. And I'm just like,
come on, join me.
How do y'all even have that?
We can hang out more just outside of work.
I don't even have
more than
time just yet.
No, I know you don't.
Catch me like late November.
In season, I don't really either, so I'm with you.
I'm just like, how y'all got all this time to golf? Like, are you going like at 5 a.m. in the morning?
Yeah.
Or what?
Well, I mean, I'm not, but being a morning show host is conducive to getting an afternoon tea time, but not when there is soccer to prep for. There's locker rooms to go in and talk to players at, and all these things. So I'll save that for the bye week.
Or do people like treasure like downtime for themselves? Or no, like that downtime is at the golf course or at the range?
Yeah. Yeah, people relax at the golf course. Well, at least they think they're going to. Then they play poorly, and then it's not relaxing at all.
I got to shout out. I got to get at my guy, Robbie. He's wanted me to get a membership at Bluegrass up in Humble Hendersonville, Gallatin.
Lovely.
Yeah. I don't know. I might just go there just to kick it, get the wings.
If you ever need a guest.
If I ever need a guest?
I'm right here.
I might need to effort that one. I got to find time first.
No,
we'll
you
get
do.
time first before we do something like that.
We've tried to make all these plans of doing stuff and kickbacks and grill out stuff and hang, and our schedules do not overlap outside of 6 to 10 Monday through Friday.
Asking you like this weekend.
We are dividing and conquering.
When do we have a kickback session in us, man? The bye week for the Vols, we'll look at the Titans.
Is the same as the Titans bye week.
So we're going to have a kickback
November
at the
8th.
crib? Listen.
If you need Ramon or I November 8th, no, you don't.
No, you can come over.
You don't.
We can watch some games.
That's
is what
absolutely
I'm telling you, man. I got some firewood. Shout out to my neighbor up the hill that provided that for us, so we can do something.
There you go.
We just got to plan it out. Look at us.
I haven't told the people yet, though, but I'm going to be off next Friday at the Ryder Cup. I haven't mentioned this. I am going to I'm going to do one segment on my day off with you guys, whoever is hosting with you, on next Friday, and we'll do one segment of Ramon and Will live from Bethpage Black next weekend. I am so excited. I was ranking my bucket list the other day. This is probably number 2.
This is it
on my bucket list, behind the Masters.
Okay. Weather should be good.
Honestly, kind of tied at 1. Like I don't know about weather yet, but I'm excited. Very excited. Cam Ward yesterday talked about what he can do to help his offensive line. I think this is an interesting conversation because Cam is seen as such a perfect part of this offense, and he's not. And that's not being overly critical. It's to say that some of the Titans' offensive issues do fall on Cam, and nobody realizes that more than Cam. This was Cam yesterday talking about getting through his progressions faster.
I would say just continue to get through progressions faster, especially backside. Moving on from my first read pre-snap, then just giving my guys a chance because we won, especially Ellie and Red, they won a lot of the backside routes that I didn't get to where I had to step up. And then just really getting better in the pocket, moving within the pocket, keeping a short stride, getting the ball out.
So then Cam was asked, is it tough to come off of vertical routes because you're hunting so much? Brian Callahan said that the other day, said Cam's kind of a hunter.
Yeah, he is.
Cam was asked, is it tough to come off of those vertical routes you're hunting for downfield? And Cam had this to say.
No, it's not tough coming off of it. I think it's just more realizing faster, whether it's the coverage or whether it's the DB's playing so over the top of the receiver, you got to get through it faster. And so I just think just over time, the more we rep a play, the more, install we have on the plays, just continue to get better for me.
So, Ramon, for Cam, how much of the Titans' offensive issues fall on him, and how much of the offensive line's problems are controllable from the quarterback just getting the ball out quicker?
It's hard to give a percent, but I say Cam has one timing. He just said that a second ago. Like, it's faster. Understanding where guys are going to be defensively. As the more reps he get, the quicker he starts to process stuff and understand what teams are trying to do and what his players are also being asked to do. You got to think with the reps that he's had with, let's go with the young guys, Chimray and also Alec Ayumena, like, they weren't with him with the ones for the most part this preseason. Like, he ended up getting them later. The more practices, the more on-field, in-game situation that he has, the better that'll get. So I would honestly say a good bit. Now, I'm not saying the Cam's at fault for everything. Guys getting whooped up front, that's on them. But the timing of how he's supposed to go get the ball out, and, hey, not every meal is a feast situation, that falls on him. Also, I told you, it's 11 sacks contributed to the offensive line, but how many of those to the running back / tight ends? And also Cam ran out of bounds, too. He's not without fault in this situation. And I would guess a good bit of this is his adaptation for what he wants to be as an NFL quarterback is refining itself, too.
Yeah.
He shares some blame in this, and he's acknowledging that. The best thing Cam Ward is doing for himself and for his teammates is this. He's owning their faults. That goes so much further with how guys are going to sell out for him. And then the other side of it, too, they'll hear him take that heat, or a reporter will take what Cam had to say and say, hey, Cam said this about this play. It was his fault. And those guys, no, that was on me. Then the communication line and the want to be a better teammate starts to develop. More and more he does that type of stuff.
Right.
He's supposed to fall on the sword, but he don't even understand what he's doing right now, too.
Agreed. I think that's well put. I think it's fair to say that you are a little extra motivated to block for a guy that is routinely taking things that you messed up and making them his problem.
Yeah.
Cam probably knows that there's more the offensive line could do and that guys are getting beat too quickly. But Cam's not saying that publicly. He's done a good job being the leader of this organization and taking accountability for things that aren't always on him. That being said, he has control over a lot of the hits that he is taking. And while Cam's processing speed, in my opinion, is uncommonly fast for a rookie, he is still a rookie. And I'm seeing guys that Brian Callahan has schemed open not getting the football because Cam is either A, throwing it very quickly to his primary read when they're one-on-one, and that's not a problem. That's a positive. B, someone's getting beat so quickly on the offensive line that he's getting hit and doesn't have time to get to his second read. But then there's the C. There is a percentage of plays, Ramon, where Cam is bailing out of the pocket too quickly to run and to create when he's got a second or third read open, as you heard him just say, on the backside of the play. Guys are open in this offense right now. There is not a problem, to me, There's not a major problem in terms of the separation that Titans receivers are getting. Being on the field, being in the stadium, I'm seeing guys who are open. It comes down to trust. Does Cam trust his pocket to say, I'm willing to stand in for an extra half a beat more to look to the backside of the formation? That's what I think the issue is. I think he's gotten beat so quickly through the Denver pass rush to the LA pass rush. I don't blame Cam. It would be hard to trust the line in front of you when you've got two new guys on the right side and you've watched all five of these guys struggle against two really good defensive fronts.
Yeah.
That's got to get ironed out.
It does. And here's the other thing, too. I will say I think this team needs a guy like Cam that can create, that can develop, that you know the play is never dead with. But in the NFL world, even guys like Kyler Murray have had to adjust. Lamar Jackson, you see him stand in the pocket a little bit more, too. This has been Cam's way of operating as a player. Even at Miami, where you had one of the best offensive lines, like, this is the way he likes to operate. I do wonder, to your point, when will he start to trust the pocket a little bit more? Well, it starts with the guys up front, too. But how long will it take for him to adjust to that period in his career?
None of these things are overly concerning. It's just the reality of the situation that the Titans' offensive line issues are not solely on the five linemen that are on the field. Mm-hmm. And it's not solely on the play caller not giving Cam what he needs. He's given Cam open receivers. Cam's got to throw it to him. And these are common issues and common growth processes for young rookie quarterbacks, both good and bad. But ultimately, Cam's got a role to play here to help out his line. Coming up next, soon-to-be Titans Ring of Honor honoree and voice of the Vols, Mike Keith, joins us for his weekly visit next. What's up? It's Will Bowling. As you are headed to your tailgates or watch parties this weekend, I'm here to tell you about my new obsession that you need in your life. Daisy French onion dip. This stuff is fantastic. It's my guilty pleasure during football season. I'm eating less big meals because I'm just snacking so much watching football. I've got the dips going with chips, with wings, with veggies. I got a whole snack pack. When I reloaded on this Daisy French onion dip last time, you can dip anything in this stuff, and it's going to be delicious. Daisy has come out with a delicious French onion dip and ranch dip. If you haven't heard me talk about it, just know these are a game changer. As delicious as a homemade dip, they're made with real herbs and spices, plus other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. So make sure you get some at your local grocery store. Check it out. Daisy French onion dip, Daisy ranch dip. Give it a try. They're at grocery stores all around you here in Middle Tennessee. That's Daisy French onion dip. Get it for your tailgate or watch party this weekend at a grocery store near you. Ramona Will is fueled by Scooters Coffee on 104.5 The Zone with the 11-year NFL veteran and Vol Network analyst Ramon Foster. I'm Will Bowling at Ramon and Will, where you can follow the show on Twitter and stream us as well. We are efforting Mike Keith as we connect with him via the cell phone. So we got some Zoom issues this morning. Computers didn't want to come to work on a Friday, Junior.
Computer's not. Yeah, exactly, man. It ain't the weekend for you yet. Technology. Trying to do a good show and job out here, man.
I think we do have him on Zoom now. Mike, can you hear us?
I can, yes.
Fantastic. Good to see you. I'm here to tell you, Mike, sometimes coaches, they worry about a letdown, right? Coming off a big game, going into a non-Power 4 opponent. Ramon Foster is not going to have any kind of letdown, Mike. He is in here breaking down his first start as a Tennessee Volunteer, which happened to also be against UAB earlier in his Tennessee career. Mike, he is fired up breaking down his film right now. You are going to get Ramon like it's a big game again on Saturday.
That was a 17-10 Vol win, was it not, Ramon?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. I'm shocked by that. But yes, it was 17-10, Mike.
Tennessee's played a couple of close games with UAB, had an overtime game with them in the Jeremy Pruitt era.
That's right.
Or maybe that was 2010. I think that was 2010.
Yes, you're right.
But there've been a couple of the five have been pretty tight. So I think Tennessee fans certainly understand the name and what the challenge is this weekend. I mean, UAB needs this one. This is their chance to really get on the map again under Trent Dilfer, who started 9-18 in his time there. And so you get it. You get what the opportunity is at this moment in time for the Blazers. And for the Volunteers, you certainly know you've got to get back into it, get a win, hopefully be convincing enough that you can get a lot of guys to play, which means you get some of your starters out of there and have the opportunity to start getting ready to dive back into the conference. But first things first, you got to take care of UAB, and that does not promise to be easy with the offense they have.
Well, and Mike, too, it feels like this team is uniquely built and has a competitive character of not taking weeks like this off. And we saw that against ETSU. It's something we've learned not to take for granted, considering the challenge Austin Peay presented a couple of years ago, and other programs like Georgia will raise their hand and say they get that as well. Mike, the impression I get of this football team is the leadership, but also maybe just the coaching staff keeping that level of urgency the same in weeks like this, Mike. This appears to be a strength of this football team, leadership that takes games like this still seriously, which is not something that every program could say.
Yeah, and not every Tennessee team can say through the course of history. I think that's true. I think the issue, though, and what you don't know, is so many guys played so many snaps last week in a very physical game, in a very emotional game. And so does that make it harder to physically rise to that level again? And Will, that's what you don't know. In your mind, you may be taking it seriously. In your heart, you may know it's an opponent you've got to go get. And sometimes the body doesn't respond in the way that you want it to because of the physicality. That's the problem with the SEC. That's the whole issue with this conference and what it's going to be, especially next year when they go to 9 games. I mean, there is an NFL level quality to the emotion and the physicality of every conference game. And sometimes your next opponent can benefit from that. And so that's going to be the challenge of getting off to a good start, of making sure that you dot your I's and cross your T's, because you don't want to open that door in a way because you're just not quite as good physically as you have been the week before, just because of what it takes out of you. So I think they've been very careful in how they've handled this team physically throughout the course of this week. They have work they've got to get in. They have things that they must improve dramatically, and they know that. And, they're headed out there right now to get back to work. But I think they're very cognizant of what the Georgia game was. And I'm sure, Georgia's thrilled. They have a bye. And so for Georgia to come off the Tennessee game and have a bye, that is very fortunate for Kirby Smart and his team.
Yeah, so we're joined by voice of the Vols, Mike Keefe, this morning. Mike, revisiting last week, speaking of that physicality, man, a lot of guys answered the call. I told folks Monday in our response, I left full after that game because you checked a lot of boxes. Going toe-to-toe with Georgia, it was a classic, I think instant classic for fans of football. What was your take on that, Mike, even on the losing side of it for the Vols fans?
Well, if Tennessee wins that football game, that's one of the 10 greatest games in modern Vol history at Neyland Stadium. So that's how close you were to not only winning, but to have something because of the nature of the game. I think that's one of the reasons that the ratings nationally on TV were what they were. If you were just someone in Los Angeles, California, who was watching college football, you wanted to see every minute of that game because it had some of everything on both sides. And you did stand toe-to-toe. Statistically, you were toe-to-toe. It was not a game that was decided by a bunch of fluke plays and by a bunch of turnovers. It was a game where two teams just went at it. The difference, Georgia made plays in the fourth quarter and in overtime more than Tennessee did. They executed better, and they did what Kirby Smart's teams have done 100 times in their last 114 games. That's the lesson that you take. But do you feel like you can play with them physically? Yes, you did. Do you feel like you have what it takes to be one of those teams? You do. And now and these are the weeks where it all starts, and it sounds like coach speak, and maybe it is, but can you come back from that and give the kind of performance that you need to give in order to defeat UAB, get better, and get ready to go take on what I think will be an undefeated Mississippi State team at 3:15 on September the 27th?
No doubt about it. You use this week as momentum for corrections and everything else. And just looking at the focus that this team has, we've brought this up before. Joey Aguilar, the quarterback, is supposed to be the CEO, the most noticeable guy on campus. And sorry, Rick Barnes, is just how it is, man, with football versus any other sport. How has he, Mike, changed the perception, operation, and just expectation of this team with Joey Aguilar, man? I thought, of course, you can see him spin the football. I don't think he's ever faced an opponent like Georgia with the talent that he has at Tennessee. I know App State plays some very challenging teams, but I don't think he's ever faced a team like that. And for him, it's got to change the entire outlook, starting from the coaching staff all the way down to his teammates right now.
Okay, share a funny story. Ashley Farrell and I are having lunch yesterday in the cafeteria here at the football complex, and Ashley says Joey Aguilar's name, and I swear, not 10 seconds later, he walks up to our table. And it's like, whoa.
Wow.
Like Beetlejuice. Yeah. Called his name. Here he appears.
Yeah.
And we sat and talked to him for just a couple of minutes while he was waiting on his food. And the thing that's so striking in just having a conversation with him is how much he's enjoying this, how much he loves this challenge, how much he digs being part of the University of Tennessee football culture, and is enjoying the entire SEC experience. And I think just from that very short interaction, it reinforces that he's attacking this opportunity in a way rather than pulling back from it. You know, that's the part of it that I think is so much fun to see when he plays. He wasn't scared Saturday. He didn't play scared. He doesn't throw scared. There's nothing about what he does that is fearful or too big for him in this situation. And that was the part of it that we got out of the discussion yesterday. Is I asked him, I said, "Are you having a good time?" Because I'm having so much fun. And I think when you look at people in these situations, when you can tell they're having a good time is when they actually have the ability to maximize their performance. I mean, Pavi at Vanderbilt is a great example of that. I mean, he's a guy who's clearly having a great time. When you're that athlete and that moment comes around for you, like it is for Joey Aguilar at Tennessee right now, I don't want to say you feel like you're playing with house money, but I do think you feel like I never thought I would have this opportunity. It's come. I'm good enough to meet the moment. It's the right point in my life for this to happen, whereas at 19 or 20, it wouldn't have been. And so I don't know that there's necessarily a ceiling for him, Ramon, because I think he feels like he can just keep going. And that's one of the reasons, back to something Will said earlier about not overlooking this opponent. I don't think he's going to take one game off. I don't think he's going to take a series off. I don't think he's going to take a play off, because he gets that being Tennessee's quarterback is a big deal. He's fortunate to be here, and he wants to enjoy it as much as possible.
Voice of the Vols, Mike Keith, joining us for his weekly visit here on the show, brought to you by Two Rivers Ford and Volunteer Traditions. Mike, Chris Brazzell, we spoke about a few weeks ago as being the newest Vols receiver who is trying to make that year 2 jump and understanding his role within this system. He made a leap, like an Olympic level high jump on Saturday against Georgia. What can you say just about him, the person that he is, the player that he is, Mike? I know Todd McShay started to talk about, hey, is he the number 1 receiver in this next draft? We got a lot more football to play before we really talk about that. But how impressed are you with him and the performance from him on Saturday?
Well, let's put it this way. I don't know where he rates towards April in Pittsburgh, but what I do know is he made a bunch of money last weekend.
He did.
Because he did it against players who will play in the NFL. And that's the type of thing that matters. He went out and he won. Now, can he keep it up? You know, the whole question with him entering this year is, could he be consistent? He made some good plays for the Vols last year, but then he had times where was he? What happened? Now, was that his fault? Was that the fault of the quarterback? Was that the fault of the system? I don't know, but there were games where he just wasn't around. And he had a decent game against Syracuse. He dropped a pass that might have gone for a touchdown. If he catches that slant, he's over 100 yards in that game. But he played pretty well. He came back and he met the moment against East Tennessee State in terms of the opportunity. Lesser opponent, but still did what he needed to do. You're concentrating on yourself, not the opponent in that situation. And then you're concentrating on everything in the Georgia game, and Chris Brazzell puts on an all-conference type performance. Can he keep it up? Can he be a guy who goes out and has 80 catches? Because that means he's getting open a lot. Can he be a guy that has 12 or 1,300 yards? Or is he going to be 60 catches for 750 yards, which is great, but are you elite? I think he has a skill set that gives him the chance to be elite, and the more he proves that, the more things sort of start to expand for him. With Rodarius Jackson's injury, the first team wide receivers are going to have to continue to play a lot of snaps, but for Braylon Staley, for Mike Matthews, for Chris Brazzell, Travis Smith, obviously, too, the opportunities are going to be there. And, oh, by the way, the quarterback will throw you the ball. I mean, he will. He doesn't have any preconceived notions about, well, last year you didn't do this, or when we both got on campus as freshmen, you couldn't get open, or no, he's like, this is what I see. I'm throwing you the ball. I think he's going to have the opportunity to get the targets. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited about him. I'm very happy for him because I know he's put in a lot of work, and I've listened to a lot of people talk about, I don't know him, but I know a lot of people in the program who like him very much, and they're very happy for him. And so hopefully he can keep that up and be the next elite guy. But I caution anybody to overlook Mike Matthews and certainly Braylon Staley. They're doing a great job too.
No doubt about it. Other young guys, man, well, guys that are growing up, man, Caleb Herring, 1.5 sacks, 2 TFL, 2.5 tackles for loss this past weekend also. it's good seeing these guys coming to their own, Mike, going into that junior year is so big. And the other part, Caleb Herring, 6'5". I'm almost eye to eye with him, man. They got some young pups, Mike, defensively. They're going to have to play and grow up throughout this next stretch before the bye week come up. What have you been impressed by those guys, starting with Caleb Herring?
Oh, I love Caleb Herring. I love his length. I love how heavy he plays at the point of attack. And when I say that, I mean you can't move him.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a 225-pound outside linebacker, what Tennessee calls the Leo. He's a thick dude who really brings it all the time. I tell you, to me, one of the great stories on defense, even though the defense has not been as dominant as what Tim Banks wants to this point, is the improvement in the Leo core. And I'm talking about Joshua Josephs, who's tied for the conference lead with 3 sacks. He played well last year, but he only had a sack and a half.
Yeah.
He did a nice job, but it was James Pierce, and he's on track to have a much better year statistically than what James Pierce did a year ago. And then you've got Caleb Herring, who seems to be elevating towards his potential. And then Jordan Ross, who was a 5-star, who's another guy who's got length and power. He's starting to come on too. I think one of the challenges for Tim Banks is, do you try to get those Leos on the field at the same time in situations other than just passing situations? Meaning, are those 2 or 3 guys part of your best 11? And so do you kind of figure out how you do that? Do you take a man in the secondary off the field and go more traditional with 4 guys in the secondary? Or do you take a linebacker off the field? Or do you take a defensive tackle off the field? Because those guys are just so explosive. But Caleb is right at the start of that. And with all 3 of those guys playing well, that's a good problem to have for Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt about it.
Mike, on the way out this weekend, a special Sunday at Nissan Stadium as you're going to be inducted into the Tennessee Titans Ring of Honor. Have you processed this? Just what are the emotions like and feelings like going into what I'm sure will be a really, really cool day for you personally and for so many Titans fans and Titans radio listeners to celebrate your time here in Nashville?
Well, it's nice of you to say. I certainly understand the magnitude of the honor, and it's a bit overwhelming from the standpoint that I totally get that a broadcaster doesn't belong in a place where Steve McNair and Eddie George are. I get that. That's what processes in my head, and yet I'm sure as heck not turning it down. So I'll be there to accept. But I think the part of it that really sticks out for me is just the understanding about how much that franchise has meant in my life, and what for the people there to say you're worthwhile in this way, to me, is the ultimate honor, because that fan base and that franchise will always be near and dear to my heart for what they gave me. And so for them to honor me in this way is overwhelming. And I just hope I don't screw it up at halftime. That's the whole goal.
You won't.
The whole goal.
You won't, Mike.
I hope not.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
And I hope we beat the Colts, because that's
great.
Really important.
See, that's what they were waiting for, Mike. They were waiting for Trash Talk Mike to show up.
Yeah, well, I mean, what would really be special is to have this happen and we beat the Colts.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. It's well earned, as Coach Mack said the last hour. We're excited. Going to be a cool day in Nissan
Coach
Stadium.
Mack said it was well earned, really?
He did. He said a lot of people will use the term well deserved. This was earned.
Yeah.
Word for word what he said last
That was
hour.
very nice of him.
Yeah. That's right. And we got Taylor Zarzer the next hour, who will be one booth over from you and Ramon on Saturday against UAB as well.
Yeah, will y'all swap duties, Mike? I mean, you know the team.
He's trying to take every one of my jobs. That's his whole move. I'm going to find him in the Ball Network booth when I show up, but he's going to host the Mike Keith show this afternoon. I know what's going on.
Yeah, I love it.
If you need,
I mean, he's not going to stop. He is just, he's like one of those people going west claiming land. He's the Ryan Seacrest of all of this.
Yes.
I know what's happening.
Yes.
I'm aware.
can't even have Wheel of Fortune.
Kind of looks like Ryan Seacrest too,
Yeah, I
doesn't
can
he?
see that.
Young guy,
Absolutely.
Can do everything.
See, he gonna put all that on his
Jealous of
resume
him,
now.
man.
Voice of the Vols, Mike Keith, brought to you by Two Rivers Ford and Volunteer Traditions. Mike, we appreciate the time as
Thanks,
always.
Mike.
Congrats in advance on what is going to be such a cool day and honor on Sunday. And we're excited. Looking forward to it.
Thanks. See you soon.
See you,
Yes,
Mike.
sir. Mike Keith with us here this morning. Good
He's
stuff.
right. Seacrest is everywhere.
Dun, 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 dun.
He is
This
everywhere.
is American Idol.
Isn't it?
I was
Yeah.
raised on that.
He's on Wheel of Fortune too.
Yeah, he's the new Wheel of Fortune guy. That's right.
If I have the time, I'm a daily 6:30 Wheel of Fortune watcher.
You know what the other name of this show is?
What's that?
Wheel of Fortune.
Go to break. No, we're not doing this. Absolutely not. We're not doing. You don't have the voice like that. No, let's beat it. Get you a voice fan, okay?
Open phone lines coming up. We'll get to Greg, 615-737-1045. I crack myself up. I don't know if anybody else laughs, but I'm just glad I
You're
laugh.
not even a dad and you're doing dad jokes, man.
Wrap it up, hour 3 next. There's the wheel. Are you trapped in a high-rate mortgage watching your hard-earned money vanish every month? Stop. Right now at Loan Pronto, they are delivering the lowest mortgage rates in 3 years. Hey, it's Will Boulding. Loan Pronto's rate reduction home loan program is a streamlined, low-cost way to slash your house payments by hundreds of dollars a month. Lock in a fixed rate as low as 4.99% APR and close in as little as 2 weeks. No appraisal needed in most cases, and here's the kicker. You can skip your next 2 house payments entirely. Don't wait. Rates this low won't last. Call Loan Pronto now for your free, no-obligation quote. Loan Pronto is amazing. Just imagine lower payments, more money in your pocket, and a fresh start with a better mortgage. Call 615-499-5780 or visit loanpronto.com to lock in your new low rate and skip those next 2 payments. Don't let high rates hold you back. Call 615-499-5780 or go to loanpronto.com right now. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLS consumeraccess.org. Wrapping up hour 3 this morning on Ramon and Will. We are fueled by Scooter's Coffee as we take you to 9 a.m. here. I can't pull this off. As we take you to the 9 a.m. hour coming up, Taylor Zarzer going to join us. If you're listening on YouTube, Keith Sweat's playing in the background right now, so I had to at least be sultry for about 10 words at least, but I can't pull it off.
It was good. It was good. Your pace was a little fast, but it was good.
Somebody earlier called. Well, I didn't want to fully commit to it because I can't pull it off. Somebody called in earlier and said their wife said that Ramon sounded sultry.
Sultry, like the
over the radio. So we're playing Keith Sweat.
The sports version of Barry White, which I didn't have that on my bingo card.
Wild call.
I was thinking of starting a voices only is what I was trying to do.
Voices.
Yeah, I ain't offering anything else.
I just got that joke. Instead of OnlyFans, voices.
Yeah, I ain't offering anything else. You can't get no fingers.
You've heard of You've heard of FarmersOnly.com? This is VoicesOnly.com.
VoicesOnly.com.
It's just Ramon
on cameos now.
It's just Ramon reading the phone book.
I saw a dude on social media, man, that delivers bad news phone calls to people.
Oh.
Like if somebody was like, hey, this is a call from somebody at your job. They say you're the worst person to work with. You're condescending.
Okay.
Nobody in the office really likes you. Like that could be my second gig. No, my 8th gig that I have going on.
Are you describing Buck Rising or are you just giving an example?
I was giving an example, but I mean, if the shoe fits,
yeah, right.
Walk in them, but I mean, no.
1-5-737-1045. You want to jump in? Let's go to the phones. Actually, 615-737-1045. If you do want to jump in, Greg in Smyrna is next. What's up, Greg?
Greg?
Hey, Will, your voice is so sexy.
Oh, thanks, Greg. Wow, appreciate that.
Move Greg to the front of the line from here on out.
Hey, no, I'm kidding. I'm married. I have kids. I have my grandkids, the whole 9 yards. Anyway, listen, last week, let me just say this. Let me preface by saying, last week for the Colts versus Broncos' number one defense, their number one cornerback, Charvarius Ward for the Colts was out. So was defensive end, Latu, or I think the game would not have been as close as everybody saw. But regardless, that's neither here nor there. It's in the past. Ramon, more than anybody, the success in offense and defense is built through the offense and defensive lines.
Yes, sir.
The fronts. And the Colts have obviously done that over the years. That's what they focused on. They got a lot of criticism, but now they've got two of the best lines in football. So with regards to, and of course they've got 3 receivers that had over 800 yards last year, even with Anthony Richardson and all his bumps. But all that being said, and of course they have, tight end Warren, who's just sensational, as well as, the Taylor's phenomenal and all that. But all that being said, back to thinking of the Titans, I think, I truly believe, because, I'm a local guy now, and I believe that the Titans, just like so many teams like even the Chiefs have done in past years, obviously the Eagles have done, is they built through the lines. And I think the Colts, I know they've talked about it with picks and stuff. They got Ward now, but they really, really need to, I believe, start with those lines.
Yeah.
Slowly have a long-term goal and just be patient and trust the process and build the lines. And every once in a while pick a receiver or find a good tight end. But I think that's going to be their key to long-term success is the front lines. That's all I'd say. Will, you're amazing, though. I love you both. You guys are great.
Greg,
I've been listening to the afternoon show for years, and then all of a sudden I turned on the morning show, taking my grandkid to school one day, and I heard y'all. Oh, guys, these guys are actually funny.
Thank you.
So,
I appreciate it.
I'm all in love with you guys. You guys are amazing.
Thank you, Greg. Appreciate the call.
Thank you, Greg.
I really appreciate it. No, I mean, he's right. Ramon, the teams the Titans have lost to over the first 2 weeks have both been better at the line of scrimmage. And Mike Borgonzi and Chad Brinker are on the record saying that they intend to build this thing from inside out.
And I love that. I do think that's the proper way to do it. You got to hit, and I feel like they have hit in some good spots while trying to supplement some free agents. It's a matter of what quality are you getting, because I don't know if this fan base is going to be able to stomach another first-round offensive lineman. It might not be like Greg said, it might not be the right thing to do.
The beauty of that, I mean, you feel like you've drafted Jackson Slater for a need you're going to have, which is not a current need, is a right guard or even a center down the road. I mean, I don't think it's a first-round pick on an offensive line. I think it's more your defensive line of edge.
To be honest with you, I was thinking without JC. I don't know what my mind was then, but yeah, JC's there, Peter's there, Dan's there for at least another year.
Yeah, right.
So it's development at this point.
And you have first-round picks up and down your entire line.
You do.
From Kevin Zeitler, J.C. Latham, Lloyd Cushenberry, and Peter Skronsky. And then you have a later guy in Dan Moore who is
starter.
Become a starter in this league, for sure. So, I mean, we're going to be, not to skip ahead to draft talk, because obviously we got 15 weeks of this thing left. But, like, the Titans' draft needs, Ramon, have never been clearer in September than they are right now.
Yeah, they are.
We're going to have a conversation, like, we're going to sound like a broken record. Do you want an edge rusher or a receiver? 615-737-1045.
Period.
Do you want a number one wideout? Do you want an edge? I mean, I have never remembered a season where you are so clear on what you need the next offseason in September.
It's so it's fascinating too, because there's just so many storylines that we have. Because do you want your team picking, respectfully, I say this, top 5 and being able to move back to gain more quality?
We're gonna have plenty of time to get
It's so many storylines, and this season's got to write its own story, though.
That's right. And the Titans lead the NFL in available cap space for 2026. They have $125.5 million in cap space. You got options.
No, it's not time.
Got options. You know what? Our listeners have the option of doing
what?
Calling in and winning Titans tickets
this weekend.
It's Titans Ticket Thursday.
For a rivalry?
We got Titans and Colts tickets to give away.
Now?
Next.
Something awesome is happening at Genesis Diamonds. This Friday through Sunday, you've been hearing about this. It's big. It's a 3-day designer engagement ring event showcasing the world's top 2 brands in bridal jewelry. Tacori and Viraggio. Tacori from California, Viraggio from New York. Both here with their entire lines, including all new rings for this special event. You're going to explore hundreds of exquisite American-made designer rings. Plus, Genesis will have special incentives like 0-interest financing up to $5,000 in instant savings. In addition, Genesis has an expanded selection of GIA-certified diamonds for this 3-day event. All shapes, all sizes, rock-bottom prices. This is the best of the best. Every Tacori ring is handcrafted by master artisans with exceptional quality, and every Viraggio ring is made by hand with unmatched attention to detail. These are brands other jewelers only wish they could offer, but I'm telling you, at Genesis, they have the entire Tacori and Viraggio collection, and they'll all be on display this weekend. So don't miss the bridal jewelry event of the year, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Genesis Diamonds. They're located in Green Hills and Cool Springs.
Put Lee Company on your team and stay ahead of the game with home maintenance, repairs, and more. What's going on at Swill Bowling? For as little as $14 a month, become a Lee Company Plus member and receive 4 annual visits to your home for your heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical systems. Even better, Lee Company Plus members receive up to 20% off on every visit and enjoy priority service. So they're going to save you time and money, and everything works the way that it is supposed to. When you get the League Company Plus membership, you get these regularly scheduled visits to make sure you're ahead of Mother Nature and that everything in your home is working properly. 615-567-1000 is the phone number. You can learn more online at leaguecompany.com/plus. Platinum Home Protection starts with a League Company Plus membership, so get the very best players on your team today by calling Lee Company, 615-567-1000. That's Lee Company, all you need.
Work, it's what we do, part of who we are. There is joy in work. And no matter what size your business is, the dedicated commercial team at Two Rivers Ford will find the work trucks and vans that keep your business moving. And Two Rivers is the only dealer that offers a 90-day free fleet management program that can help you save money on every single mile. the Commercial Vehicle Center at Two Rivers Ford. We work for you.
.902, good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The Titans' first injury report of the week came out after yesterday's practice and preparations for Sunday's game against the Indianapolis Colts. 4 players not practicing: J.C. Latham with a hip injury, Bryce Oliver with a knee injury, L'Jarius Sneed with a back injury, and Kevin Zeitler with a bicep injury. 3 players limited in yesterday's practice, and Kalel Mullings with an ankle, Tavondre Sweat also with an ankle, and Kevin Winston Jr. with a hamstring injury. In other NFL news, 2 more injuries as a result from Week 2 of the NFL. Tampa Bay Buccaneers guard Cody Mauch, despite finishing Monday night's game against the Houston Texans, will miss the remainder of the 2025 season with a significant knee injury. Also, the Los Angeles Chargers have placed edge rusher Khalil Mack on injured reserve after suffering an elbow dislocation in their Monday night win over the Las Vegas Raiders. Mack avoids a season-ending injury and is expected back in just a few weeks. In college football news yesterday, the NCAA is eliminating the spring transfer portal window and moving to a one-time only college football transfer window. This transfer window would be open for a 10-day period, but the dates of when that window would take place have not been determined just yet. One rule would stand, though. If a head coach is fired, then a 30-day window is still in effect. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you've got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Away we go into hour number 4. Ramon and Will is fueled by Scooter's Coffee, and Scooter's Coffee is locally owned around Middle Tennessee. Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. We've already had a Titans analyst join the Vols analyst, who's Ramon Foster, the Vols play-by-play guy, and Mike Keith, who was just on the show. I do sidelines for Titans radio. Let's just add a 5th broadcaster to the show who is broadcasting Titans football this weekend. Taylor Zarzer is going to stop by in studio in 15 minutes. Also on the call for Tennessee and UAB. So you guys will be sharing halftime ice cream sandwiches in the Neyland Stadium press box at the same time this weekend, Ramon.
I've yet to have the ice cream sandwiches, man.
Oh, good stuff.
I've yet to have them.
Or the chili dogs, also a respectable option at halftime.
My tradition has been like a half a hot dog because I don't want to be gassy on air. Ashley Farrell's Mike Key brought up earlier. She'll go grab some stuff out of there. I try to eat before the broadcast and just stay in game mode and be chill during it for the most part.
See, I starve myself before broadcasts because I'm that much more locked in.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's just something in my head that's a stupid routine, but it's my routine, dang it. And I will literally just like not eat before broadcast. That way I'm just, when I'm doing play-by-play, because there's a certain level of like mental sharpness you've got to have.
I will say the hot dog line at halftime is long.
Oh, yeah, no. If there's one thing us media members love, it's food.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, and we'll complain when it's not on time or not hot or not good.
I've recognized.
Or if your name is Buck Rising. But anyway, that's all right. Free food you can't really complain about.
I've been impressed. The first 2 weeks at Neyland have been pretty good. I think they had Moe's the first week, and I think they had Calhoun's last week.
You'll probably have a Panera bagel spread this week, so it's an early game.
I've been so tempted when I do my pregame show with Hubs and Swain, the Big Orange Countdown. Walking past, do you hear me? It's one endorsement. No, it's a few endorsements I want out of Knoxville, but there's one in particular that teases me every single week. It's the Petros.
The best. Mike Keith is on the record saying that's the best concession food in Neyland Stadium.
He ain't lying.
No,
And me and Petros need to have a thing going. Do you hear me? Is what I'm telling you. I've been so tempted to be like, man, let me get one of them bowls before I do this broadcast. I'm going to be cool, though.
What do you put on your Petro before we give away some Titans tickets?
I do cheese, olives, jalapenos, sour cream. Yeah, that's it for me.
Solid.
Chili. Yeah,
I'll do it
chili.
all the way without olives and... Oh, I don't know. I used to go no sour cream. Now I just kind of eat around it and use like a little bit of it. I'm not a huge sour cream guy.
I guess I go all the way and extra onions.
Solid.
Yeah. I can take the tomatoes out. I'm not a huge tomato
Orange
fan.
sweet tea? Hint of orange tea?
Come on, man. You know ball. Come on, you absolutely.
You know there's an alcoholic version of that now in the stadium?
I've been doing that before I even had to have it. What are you talking about here?
We've got some Titans tickets to give away. This is a ticket you want. Titans Colts divisional game, one of 3 divisional games, of course, you get at home. Each Thursday before home games, we'll be giving you the chance to win a pair of tickets to the next Titans game. Caller number 5 right now wins 2 tickets to see Titans Colts this Sunday at Nissan Stadium. 615-737-1045. 4 of you already on the line. With the delay hadn't even caught up yet. 615-737-1045 to head to see Titans and Colts. Good stuff. There you go. There's our winner. So Justin's got a winner. He'll be talking to you in a second. Oh, he dropped off. That's so tragic.
No!
The guy that had won had literally hung up.
The guy that won hung up. It's
got to be caller number 6 now, unfortunately.
Alrighty. There you go.
5. What were you thinking?
Meanwhile, while Justin talks to our winner, why are the Titans taking so many sacks? Here's Brian Callahan yesterday.
It's a little bit of both. I mean, we've certainly had a loss or two in just pure technique and blocking one-on-one. There's been some other times where the coverage has been solid and we've had to hold the ball an extra second, so they're blocking longer than normal. And then there's some other things in terms of the running backs, and we've missed a protection or two that have given up some heat. So it's a combination, as always, but certainly need to play better there against this particular group. And the interior of this defense is really good between Stewart and 99, man. Those guys are really good players. So we got to work cut out for us on the interior for sure.
When you're going up against a defensive scheme like the Colts, what are some keys or must-dos for your offense, including the quarterback?
You have to see the post snap. There's a lot of things that change in the time between lining up on the ball and snapping the ball. Pressure package is multiple. He's got every pressure. So what they are for us this week, you got to be ready for a multitude of things, and the quarterbacks got to be ready to handle those, whether they're protection checks or they're quick throws or quick answers. Those things, there's a lot on the quarterback to manage when you play a defense like this. I think Cam's up to the task, and he'll be prepared for it. But it's always one of those games where you're likely to see something maybe you haven't necessarily prepared for or they haven't done in 12 weeks or 2 years or something like that. Lou's got quite a bit of defense at his disposal. He's got a deep bag, if you will. So we got to be ready to play our rules at the end of the day, which is always what you got to do when you're facing teams that do a lot of different things and try to keep you off balance. So plenty on Cam's plate this week for sure, and then we got to do well around him to help that.
It's Brian Callahan speaking to the media yesterday. Ramon, it does appear to be kind of the opposite challenge this weekend against the Colts as it was against the Rams and Broncos, who had elite edge rushers. This game, a little bit more about interior pressure and the two big guys in the middle, DeForest Buckner and Grover Stewart. When you watch those two guys, what stands out about Buckner and what makes him so difficult to block?
Man, Buckner is he's legit 6'7". That's number one. His arms as long as heck. He's got a motor. He can reach around you to go get a sack. You got to decide on if you want to sit and bull hop with him or dance with a guy like DeForest Buckner, because he can run through you, or he's shifty enough, agile enough to run around you too. Like, he plays on the interior, but he could easily be a defensive end depending on the scheme. Like, if he played for, I would say, Cleveland, he'd be a D end more than an interior guy as much as he possibly is, man. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Titans decide to go up against him and where he lines up. Now, Grover Stewart, he's good. He's low to the ground. He's one of those guys that he understands leverage, and if you lean on him, you're done. He can get upfield on you, and he also holds the point for his linebackers who have been talking this week. So they got a good balance of finesse and power with how they go about rushing you and getting on. Grover Stewart can also be a third down type of guy too, because if you decide you're going to run a draw play, he's good enough to recognize and get off and make plays. Grover Stewart, I'm going to be honest with you, has made himself into a very valid NFL defensive tackle. Indy paid him early. I think he was supposed to be at the time too, and it's because they saw what he was going to turn into. I think he's got another contract left in him. I know he does.
Yeah, big game for the Titans' interior offensive line. Brian Callahan speaking a little bit about Lloyd Cushenberry yesterday, talking about there is the residual effect of not practicing in camp, saying Lloyd's getting better every week. He's only going to get more comfortable, admitting, too, that they have moved the line and kind of schemed things to go behind Kevin Zeitler, who, again, did not practice yesterday with a bicep injury. But Callahan did say again yesterday, we feel better about the depth. It feels like there is an entire offensive issue when it comes to not getting sacks. It's not just on those five that are blocking. I'm a little surprised they've not given Blake Hance more of a look at tackle, considering the experience he had there in Jacksonville. Callahan saying yesterday that they see him as an interior depth guy who has played outside before, but primarily as a swing interior backup.
That's kind of how I see him
within this team. Okay.
That's kind of how I see him. Probably a little bit too much exposure for what they're asking these tackles to do in this offense. Probably not the support that you want when you're asking him to do those things. So I see him more as interior. This is my personal opinion. I can be wrong on that too, but legitimately looking at him and where this team is set up at, they got guys that are solely tackles that they want to put in those positions right there. Brandon Crenshaw-Dixon is going to be interesting to see if he does play a role. Is he just getting live reps this week too? So it's going to be a fascinating approach to stop the rotation at right tackle. I hope they don't get into a rotation situation that they did a little bit of last year.
Right.
And Juku get this rep, and you have Udo another. So we'll see.
Voice of the Titans, Taylor Zarzer, is on the call for Tennessee UAB and, of course, for Titans and Colts, and he joins us in studio coming up next. Your season, your shot. The NFL season is rolling, and every touchdown can bring you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. From first touchdown score to anytime TD props for the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. New customers, this one is for you. Bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, score over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THEZONE. That's code THEZONE to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first $5 bet. Plus, over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. If you or somebody you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text the Tennessee Red Line, 1-800-889-9789. 21 plus, Tennessee only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto-renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday Ticket/terms. Limited time offer. Ramona Will is fueled by Scooters Coffee on 104.5 The Zone, locally owned in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. We go from 4 to now 5 broadcasters who will be calling Titans/Vols games this weekend on the show just today. As in studio, the voice of the Titans, Taylor Zarzer, is here. What's up? How we doing?
Just ready to hang with Ramon on Rocky Top.
Love it.
On Saturday before I hang with you on Sunday at Nissan Stadium.
Everybody
do the double.
A down and back.
Are you coming on Sunday?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, you are on Sunday
Mike
too?
Invited me, man. Yeah,
Oh,
no
good.
doubt about it. I was looking like, do I get a ticket? And I got a text from Mike. It's like, hey, I want you there on Sunday. I was like,
Nice.
me?
Awesome. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of former Titans broadcasters turned volunteer broadcasters hanging with us on Sunday. We're very excited about that.
It'd be a good time.
I love it. How much fun are you having? Like, has it set in yet? We were talking about this the other day where just like I have not processed that I'm doing all of these things yet. Like, how has it been for you so far?
It's great. Listen, I love golf and I love football. Those are the things that I love. And it took me a long time to describe that in my professional career. Sort of like where Will Bowling is right now. I did everything. Like I would call any sporting event in front of me, I would call. And I love that you're doing that. At some point in my life, my wife said, you are going to have to figure out how to consolidate your life, and you're going to have to figure out what you're most passionate about. And it honestly happened in Columbia, Missouri about 7-8 years ago. Alabama was playing Missouri in basketball, and I'm doing the game for SEC Network, and it's like 11 o'clock on a Tuesday night. It's snowing sideways, and I said, I love college basketball, but that's it. I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I can't do. I'm every day it's a different event, and I'm wearing all these hats. And she said, "Make a decision on what you want to do moving forward." And I was like, I want to do football and I want to do golf. And the idea that I would ever do SEC football one day, the Titans the next day, and then next week do the Ryder Cup.
It's awesome.
It's a dream come true, man. Yeah. I'm just trying to pinch myself because I'm really grateful to get to do the things that I love most.
I love it.
That's fascinating because you're right. You location-wise, logistically, it might be better for you to drive for basketball, right?
Right.
But basketball is an indoor sport. You're going to always play. But it might be snowy outside. That's
Especially
what would cut me
Columbia,
out.
Missouri.
Like if I didn't play professional football, Taylor, I'd probably be like a big truck driver because I like seeing the world.
You've told me this a couple times.
Hear me out.
It feels like you really want to do this.
Late October.
Are you leaving, Will?
Please no.
Late October? No, we putting the truck up. I'm not driving.
Okay, yeah.
You're not sending me to North Dakota or Colorado with chains on my truck. No, absolutely. I'm not built for that. I'll just tell you that right now.
I love it.
My nerves wouldn't do well up the mountain ridge.
Me either.
Nah, I'm good on
me
that.
either. And I love college basketball, and it was a blessing to get to do it. But I had a different sporting event and a different hat I was wearing every single day, and I had to consolidate my world to football and golf, and I'm glad that I did. But no, doing these Titans games is not something I ever imagined doing, and I really am. I'm having the time of my life. I think if that video that you created, by the way, from this past weekend, where I'm standing up, getting out of my chair to call that Cam Ward touchdown pass to Elikayo Manor. I hope you see some guy, my goodness, this guy loves what he does. Yeah, and I do. Yeah. I really do.
While I'm doing a Tiger Woods, like, uppercut.
Yeah, and I saw you doing that in the back. And our engineer, Joseph Bonanno, in the background doing the same thing. That was great.
That's the biggest thing. I was telling my fiance this the other day. I was like, man, like in Denver, like, something just came over me. Like, I was like, I'm not a fan anymore. I can't just be cheering for the team on the sideline. And I just, all of a sudden, I'm like, let's go. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Yeah, wait a minute.
All right, guys, I got a hit for you.
Will's at work.
Anyway.
Will's at work.
Titans and Colts. Let's start there for this weekend.
Okay.
What are you got two boards.
I got two boards here. If Ramon wants to talk about the Blazers and the Vols, I've got that in my right hand. I've got the Titans and Colts in my left hand. So let's go to the left hand.
Growth for Cam Ward from week 1 to week 2. We saw him make strides already. Brian Callahan wants to see this offense as a unit help out the offensive line, alleviate some of the pressure that's been on Cam, saying, hey, this is not a line issue. It is an offensive issue when there is pressure on the quarterback. What is that jump that you think this staff wants to see, and what impresses you about Cam now as we go from week 2 to week 3 in a first divisional game?
Yeah. I think that the staff wants to see him play smart football and make the smart decision more times than not. Now, the biggest play of his career, professional career so far was a no. Yes.
Exactly.
Play. But you don't want to see that throughout the game. What the staff was talking about that you just referenced, not all those sacks are on the offensive line. A couple of those sacks are on Cam Ward holding the football too long. Cam Ward, at every level, has been able to make every throw. And he looks down the field and says, I can do this. I can do that. At the professional level, you're going to have to give some of that up from time to time. You can't just sit back there and wait for the biggest throw to be created, to develop down the field. You're going to have to take your checkdowns. I've heard you talk about this. There's a couple of times, okay, there's a safety valve right there. You could take that safety valve, whether it's Pollard out of the backfield, whether it's Lockett in the slot, whether it's a tight end, which, listen, through the first couple of weeks, I think that Cam Ward would tell you, I got to get it to my tight ends more. Okonkwo and Helm, there have been several more opportunities to utilize them. I think the coaching staff would love to see him do that more often. Just keep moving the football down the field. Don't get yourself in 3rd and long so often. So I think that's where they would like to see the improvement. Having said that, listen, any level-headed person that has watched the Titans through the first couple of weeks would say, we have our quarterback. These are fixable issues.
Right.
This guy is going to get better and better and better. But the talent level, the swagger, the preparedness, how great of a teammate he is. You and I got onto the plane after the loss to Denver, and the first thing we saw when we got on the plane is Cam Ward sitting next to Brian Callahan, and Cam Ward's hand was on Brian Callahan's laptop looking at film saying, I should have done this here. I should have done that there. That is a dream to see that. And listen, I know that everybody listening to us right now is frustrated. They're like, Taylor, you weren't here for 7-10 and 6-11 and 3-14, and now we're 0-2. This stinks. I'm tired of the losing. I get it. You should be tired of the losing. But in the same respect, if you're going to switch general managers again, and you're going to let this general manager pick the players and develop the entire roster, then the truth is we're 8 months into building this football team.
Right.
We're not 3 years into building the team. Mike Borgonzi isn't responsible for what happened the last 3 years. Mike Borgonzi has to look at it as a clean sheet and say, I have to build a football team. And he certainly has gotten it right with the quarterback. That's the first step. So all the frustration about the offensive line and the penalties and the injuries and the lack of depth, I'm not telling you not to be upset or frustrated by it. I am telling you the truth is you just started the football program 8 months ago. That's the way you have to look at it.
Mm-hmm. That's well said.
When you look at this upcoming weekend, so we got Taylor Zarzer in the studio with us this morning. This rivalry, you got to feel this one too. It's got to be exciting going into Sunday, knowing that, look, your second opportunity at home against a quarterback that's also trying to reset his career, and Danny Dimes, right, Daniel Jones. So how are you viewing this matchup between these two who Jeffrey Simmons said?
I love that. I was just about to say it. I love how he said, we don't like these guys.
You don't like me? I hate you too. Yeah, absolutely. It's understood.
And everybody, that's why everybody loves number 98, is because you have to have a guy like that on your football team. And a guy that not only is just like that, a guy that's one of your best players that acts like that on your football team. So having said what I just said about being 8 months into your development as a franchise, because that's really where the Titans are. You still need to win games while you're developing a roster. You need to learn how to win, because what happens is as you're creating a culture, you have to have moments where all of your hard work pays off. Mm-hmm. Even if you're a thin team that doesn't have a lot of depth, that is banged up and has injuries. I don't care if the Colts are 8 years into their program and you're 8 months into yours. You still have to find ways to win games. The Broncos and the Rams are better teams than the Titans. But that doesn't mean the Titans couldn't have or shouldn't have won one or both of those games. Yeah. You've got to find ways to win. And to do it against a division rival like the Indianapolis Colts would do wonders for the locker room. Certainly everybody in Nashville and everybody that loves the Titans, it would do wonders for them. But most importantly, it would do wonders inside the building if you could win this game. I see it this way. Nothing against the Colts defense. Certainly the interior of their defensive line is one of the best in the game. I don't think collectively their defense is as strong as the Broncos or the Rams.
Agreed.
I see opportunities for Cam Ward and this offense to score some points and have a real chance to put up points almost every time they touch the football. And I love Joey Sly. I've taken some money off of him on the golf course, which is one of the reasons why I love him.
Talk your stuff then, man.
Shots fired, Joe.
Yeah, let him know.
I love Joey Sly, and Joey's been unbelievable.
But he ain't like you on the golf course, is what you're saying.
No, what I'm saying is, having said that, I'd like Joey to stay on the sideline a little more often.
No doubt.
And I'd like these drives to finish with touchdowns instead of with field goals. And I think there's a real opportunity this week, Will, for the Titans to do that. Now, on the other side, Daniel Jones has gotten off to a great start. The Miami Dolphins are a train wreck. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve credit for how he played in that game. He played well. He played well against the Denver Broncos last week. Honestly, I think they should have lost the game. I really do. I mean, I'm not throwing shots at the Colts. I think they should have lost the game. He did. He played well. I don't think that he played well enough for the Colts to have won the game. But I say all that to tell you that through the first 2 weeks, he's 2-0. But he's not 2-0 the way that, say, the Philadelphia Eagles are 2-0, right? If that makes sense. So 100%. I see this as a real opportunity for the Titans to win.
No doubt. The matchup that I'll be watching and can't wait to see live and in person, and they've had some good ones, but Quentin Nelson versus Jeffrey Simmons. The rush has to be there. I was on the boat this offseason saying Daniel Jones is a good quarterback. I do believe that. I like Quentin Nelson as a guard in this league. He raised the tide and the levels for all guards to be paid. But watching Jeff and him battle, Taylor, I'm telling you, it's like two lions going.
They know each other very well.
They know each other, and I don't think they care for each other too much on game day.
And that's where you lived in the National Football League for a decade. I believe I saw Will Bowling standing next to Tavondre Sweat in the locker room yesterday.
I was?
Yeah. And Mr. Sweat says he's ready to go on Sunday.
He did. Sometimes it takes a little bit of digging to get there because originally he gave the answer he's supposed to give, and he said, well, we'll see. And then by the end of it, he said, no, I'm going to be good. I'm going to be good for Sunday.
So if he's next to 98 going up against Quentin Nelson, I really like the matchup on Sunday.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, no, I think that's
big.
That
going to be hot.
Yeah, look, the line of scrimmage, if the Titans can hold their own, but if they can take advantage on defense, hold their own, as you guys have talked about for days and days and hours about the offensive line issues, if they can hold their own, I like the Titans' chances on Sunday. This is a big deal on Sunday because if you get this game, then all of a sudden you can look forward and say, okay, everybody calm down. We got through the toughest part. You could argue the toughest part of the schedule was the first 2 games of the season, but we got through it. Now we have a win. And as you're trying to build this culture, you're seeing some results. You're getting a win here and there. I think that's really important as you develop this team.
Especially going on a 3-game road trip after this as well.
Yeah.
Where you're going to Houston against another incredible defensive front, Phoenix and Vegas. And talking to a lot of the players yesterday, Taylor, it seems there is a balance of, yes, it's week to week, and you can't get caught up in the past, and you have to look forward, while also understanding there is a sense of urgency right now on that practice field and in that locker room to say, all right, we know the reality of where we are. Let's not only raise the level of practice, raise the level of urgency in the meeting rooms because we're 0-2, but because this is a divisional game, and that's what you do when the Colts come to town, is everybody has to go from 10 to 11 a little bit every day at the facility.
You can feel it during practice. I could feel it yesterday at practice. And the thing that I like most is that the most important position, I think, in sports is quarterback in the National Football League. And the guy that you can really feel the urgency with is number one.
Right.
This guy hates losing. He absolutely disdains it. By the way, he's never been 0-2. At any level of football, he's never been 0-2.
Wow, that's a luxury.
And he hates it. And he wants to do anything he can to change it. That's exactly the kind of person you want at quarterback for the Titans.
No doubt.
Was it also fitting the first touchdown, rookie to rookie?
Yeah.
That was a great call.
They're fighting over who's going to get the football.
Thanks,
also.
Are they?
No, it sounded great. Yeah, Cam said that yesterday. He's like, we're still trying to figure out who's going to get that football.
It's got to go to the quarterback. Tell him, man, I promise you, I'll give you another one.
That's exactly what he said. He was like, I'm going to make sure I get Alec another one. That way it's easier for us to figure it out.
Well, the big part about that is, as much as people can be frustrated by the last few years and what's gone wrong and picking the wrong players and trading the wrong players away and all of the sins of the past, as they've said, you can look at that game. You can look at the first couple of games and you can say, man, the Titans really crushed the draft. Like this guy, Io Manor, that they took in the 4th round. This guy, DK, that is the only guy standing back there and kicks and punts, who's already done something dynamic on kicks and punts, and the punt should have counted, by the way. You look at defensively, Femi's getting better with every single rep, and his attitude is exactly what you'd want. Yeah. You got a tight end immediately that's making a difference. They did. They crushed the draft, and that's the future of the Tennessee Titans, are those guys that you see that were drafted this past April.
All right, well, there's another game that you're going to be calling in State of Tennessee.
Right,
Let's switch boards here because there is another quarterback that fans in this city and this state feel really confident in right now, and that is Joey Aguilar. You've seen him in an App State uniform.
Yes. You'll
see him this weekend in a Pantone 151C orange uniform for the University of Tennessee.
Not that you care about that.
No, not even a little bit.
Right.
Nike's gotten that right for us. How impressed are you? What stands out about him, just the person and the way he has quickly taken to that job in Knoxville?
By the way, the pants are the same color this week. Did you know that?
No.
Was I not supposed to give that away?
I don't think that's public, but it is now.
Oh, no, it
is now.
Oh, man.
Did they not put that out yet?
Oh, man. I've gotten emails about this.
Have you?
I've gotten emails about this.
Okay,
let's keep that between us. Sorry, Bill Martin.
Free the orange pants.
Sorry, Bill Martin.
I love that.
It's the orange britches, as Trey Smith like to say.
I love that.
Here's what I see from Joey Aguilar. I see a guy that has had a ton of experience playing the quarterback position, that is a coach's dream, that is a teammate. He is a guy that is the heartbeat of Tennessee's offense. That could sound like a shot at the last guy. The last guy was uber talented. I still think is uber talented. But calling a couple of Nico Iamaleava's games and being on the field last year in Athens for the Tennessee-Georgia game, I saw a guy that just didn't seem the juices weren't flowing for him. The way that he connected to his teammates, there was something that was missing there that you have to have if you're going to be a special quarterback, either at the collegiate or professional level. I see a guy in Aguilar that's exactly what Vols fans want in their leader of their team. And I think all his experiences that he has had have certainly helped him in Knoxville, but a ton of confidence. If anything, you almost wish the game didn't start with the way it did those first 3 drives, because there was some adversity after that, and you just can't play at that level forever. But I really, really like the way he's operating Josh Heupel's offense, and this is the ultimate get-right game this weekend. Listen, I know that Josh Heupel and Trent Dilfer are friends, that Heupel has taken a couple of Lipscomb players from Trent Dilfer.
We're appreciative.
And I think that Josh Heupel is going to show his appreciation by scoring about 10 touchdowns this weekend. I think this Tennessee offense against one of the worst defenses in college football is going to have its way this weekend. And I especially think that Deshaun Bishop, Star Thomas, Peyton Lewis, maybe even these freshmen are going to come in this weekend and run the ball like crazy against the Blazers.
Oakland High School's own DeJuan Morris was impressive against ETSU.
Yes, he was.
Did you see this version of Joey App stating your coverage of him?
No.
That's why I was wondering, him acknowledging he's got a higher talent at skill.
There's no question.
It's benefiting also.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. And yeah, App State didn't, a couple of years ago, App State did not have the receivers that Tennessee has. Brazel's, that guy is special, man. But it's not just him. I mean, obviously Staley had a huge game this past weekend.
Like Matthews,
but the other thing, to me, the biggest thing, and this is the way you watch the game, Ramon, the biggest thing he didn't have at App State is he didn't have protection. He didn't have time to do what he's doing right now. And UT's offensive line, I think, through the first 3 weeks of the season, listening to you on the radio talk about it, the first 3 weeks of the season, UT's offensive line has, to me, been the star of the Volunteers. I know that all the skill guys will get all the credit. The things we're talking about with the Titans that have been frustrating with health and availability and depth, the Vols have, even though they're missing their right tackle, have been outstanding protecting Joey Aguilar. And by the way, that was not intentional grounding. It just wasn't. So really, the stats should say that Joey Aguilar has not been sacked yet this year. It says he's been sacked once because there was an intentional grounding, and it wasn't. He should have 0 sacks on the season so far. And to me, that's the biggest reason why he has all this confidence.
So even say that against Georgia, though.
right?
With, like you said, a line that wasn't your 5 to start the season off.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
We were done. I said I was over Georgia week.
You want to hang out?
Let it bleed.
One more
I'm not
segment,
going
talk
anywhere.
a little Ryder Cup? All right.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere.
Let's do it. A little more on UT UAB and the Ryder Cup's next weekend. Taylor's going to be there. I am so stoked to be there. We're going to talk about it. Taylor Zarzer in studio with us, and more with him coming up next.
It's Ramon and Will for Volunteer Traditions. We're not talking about the actual traditions. We're talking about the clothes.
That's
now,
right, Ramon.
Will, man. And listen, if you're going east to Knoxville or flying in, whatever the case may be, you can go to their website and get ready for game day at volunteertraditions.com. Their social medias are Voltrad, okay? Like legitimately, some of the best apparel you can get, all types of clothing, you get all sizes, myself all the way down to you guys, Will.
That's absolutely right. And they've been making Tennessee apparel since 2006. They now carry everything Vols, from polos to outerwear, tees, and hats. If you go to the 104.5 The Zone YouTube channel right now, I've got the lightweight hoodie on. This is kind of an off-white color. It's the interlocking UT logo with the black outline. It's the same logo I wore in a hat when I had my signing day as a University of Tennessee athlete. It's those retro Vols logos and looks, plus the new stuff as well that you get when you go to Volunteer Tradition. So make sure you are geared up for game day. Polos, outerwear, tees, hats, and more, perfect for Saturdays in Neyland. Head online, volunteertraditions.com. Ramona will wrapping up the show, fueled by Scooter's Coffee on 104.5 The Zone. Scooter's Coffee of Mount Juliet will be seeing me today. I feel like every time I'm about to go to a Scooter's on the way to do a broadcast, I let them know. So if there's like an orange carpet or something, no, I'm kidding. That pumpkin caramelicious coffee will be in my left hand in about 3 hours as I go to Knoxville today. Taylor Zarzer in studio will be on the call for Tennessee and UAB. Before we nerd out about the Ryder Cup for a few minutes.
Announcement about their uniforms in an hour and 12 minutes, by the way.
Tell me about UAB, just your first impression of them and the challenges they will present Tennessee, and Trent Dilfer being someone that a lot of this city is familiar with. And so a lot of players on this team who were Lipscomb players that maybe some last names people will be familiar with.
Jalen Kitna is a good college quarterback. Like, honestly, if Jalen Kitna, he could have been what Joey Aguilar is. Yeah. He could have gone to a school like Tennessee and used his last year of eligibility and played at a place like that. He started his career at Florida. John Kitna's son, obviously.
Right.
He's a good quarterback. He's running Trent Dilfer's offense quite well. UAB doesn't have any depth. UAB's defense has really struggled in Dilfer's time there. And honestly, this year, I think that they're struggling even more than they did the last couple of years. It's going to be fascinating to see what Trent Dilfer's future is. I think that he is a really good football mind. I think he loves developing talent, especially at a young age. And I thought he crushed it at Lipscomb here in Nashville. And I do ultimately wonder if that's what he should be doing instead of what he's doing right now. We're not obviously going to wonder those things on the broadcast on Saturday. We'll call the game and be objective about it. But I think that that's what a lot of UAB people are wondering right now is what is Trent Dilfer's future? What is the Blazers' future? I think that, if you're a program that comes out of the American Conference or the Sun Belt Conference or one of these group of five, you're trying to get your team to win 9-10 games so you have a chance to get to the college football playoff, and the Blazers haven't been able to build a roster on both sides of the football to do that. So that you're going to see an offense that really is dynamic and with one of the better creative play callers in the game on offense, but a defense that, on paper at least, should struggle with Tennessee's depth on Saturday. And I'd be surprised if the Volunteers aren't physical at the line of scrimmage and really get the running game going. As incredible as the beginning of the game was against Georgia, they don't have to do that against UAB.
Yeah. But in these types of games right here, where you have a team like UAB coming into town, they're playing their first few games with Alabama State, Navy, and Akron.
Yeah.
Playing the Vols, they're going to try to step it up. Because if you look at the roster, too, like, here's the thing about UAB. They got a ton of transfer. Like, Power 4 transfer, Kentucky, South Carolina, Arkansas, Florida, UTEP. Like, they got a lot of players that are coming to UAB to try to find their next life as a college football player, potentially NFL at some point. I'm sure they'll get up to your point.
Sure.
But it's a matter of how will they wear down.
Yeah. I'd be surprised if we saw the 2010 UAB Blazers that sent the Volunteers to overtime. I'd be surprised if you're right. They do. They've got guys that weren't able to see the field at those big time programs that are playing for UAB, which is exactly what you want to do if you're a UAB.
It is.
But I don't see the depth defensively.
Right.
I don't see the ability to stay on the field defensively or run with the Volunteers defensively. But it wouldn't surprise me if UAB came out and moved the football offensively on Saturday and had some success because of what we talked about. Kitna's a really good operator of Dilfer's offense, but they've really struggled to build a defense in Birmingham.
Eighth grade me, very stressed watching that 2010
I bet.
Tennessee UAB
That's a heck
game.
of a comeback by the Blazers.
Gosh. All right, we have about 90 seconds.
Yeah.
USA Europe Ryder Cup next week. Bethpage Black.
Are you fired up?
I am fired up. I am going to. I am literally working now on not yelling and screaming,
keeping your voice,
and keeping my voice at this strength, and not saying mean things to Rory McIlroy. Tommy Fleetwood, I love. I could never hate Tommy, even when we're against him. Europe has names, experience, aura. USA, a lot of guys who are exceptional this year who haven't done it on this stage yet. What's the vibe around the USA camp going into this? We've got 60 seconds here.
The United States on paper is not as deep and as experienced as the European team is, and if this was just played without fans, I would give Europe a significant advantage. Europe is going to go into an environment they have never seen before, that golf has never seen before.
Yep.
They basically are the face of the enemy going into Rocky Top is what they are. They're going to be
New Yorkers are ready to go, baby.
It is going to be the most raucous environment you've ever seen in golf.
Yeah.
Next Friday morning, when you and I are there near the first tee at Bethpage Black, it'll be one of the most intense, electric environments you've ever seen in sports. And I cannot wait. It is going to be something really special. And golfers have to have the largest egos known to man in order to be successful. But that also means they're thin-skinned and they hear everything. I don't know how Robert McIntyre, Justin Rose, and Rory McIlroy are going to react to all of that. They're trying to train their minds to be able for it, but I give the Americans the advantage to win the Ryder Cup because of where it's being played next week.
He is Taylor Zarzer, voice of the Titans, on the call for UT-UAB. Ryder Cup next week. He's doing it all. Thank you for the time. Good to see you.
Love you guys. Good seeing you, boys.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. That is your Thursday. Tomorrow, Brent Hubbs, Stephen Godfrey, Tate Matthews talking high school football, and, of course, Ron Slay on your Friday morning.
Good people, you must remember at all times your Twitter fingers and your mic, they're always hot.